Yup.
Yeah. No,
And we are live, as I like to say when I start these things. So hello everybody, what's going on? Yeah, apparently having a bit of a music glitch. We'll figure that out at some point. But right now we're here to play some Veil Breakers in support of the Surfrider Foundation. So, new session, new intros. Or I guess new campaign, new intros, right? So, Andrew from Live from the Apocalypse, Will and I have been doing this since March of 2020. We started this streaming nonsense, and it's been picking up, and it's been a ton of fun, and we're going to keep going and do cool things and help build communities and get more people involved in D&D stuff and do it all for good causes, right? Or TTRPG stuff in general, right? So, that's me. I want to give a chance for everyone to talk about themselves as much or as little as they'd like. At the very least, your name and a wave. But I'll turn it over to... I think Joe and Victoria first, because they were both in my Pulp Cthulhu game that we just ended. So go ahead and take the wheel.
Sure, yeah. Hey, I'm Joe Gates. I am a native Philadelphian. I am a performer. You might have seen me if you were in Philadelphia at the comedy show Gates or one of the various myriad of improv stuff. I've been doing improv for, oh my god, nearly 20 years now. Been performing for a little bit longer. I've done a bunch of different Ren fairs. Just trying to do all of it. Just trying to do all of it, My favorite genre of role-playing is Gothic horror. So, and that's me.
Awesome, thank you for that. So, Victoria.
All right. Hi. I'm Victoria. I am not a native Californian, but that's where I am right now. And there might be exciting things coming up where I'm running them in just a bit. Spoiler, not spoiler. Like maybe Wednesday.
Oh. I'll have to ask you a little more about that when we're finished. Yeah, that sounds intriguing.
Yep, the world's going to end.
Mm-hmm. I like your optimism. Okay, Rouge, go ahead.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, no. You're muted.
No.
Hello. Yes. I'm Rouge. I was previously on the other campaign with Will, Nephilim, that wrapped about the same time. And then I jumped ship, and I'm here now to play in my first long-term D&D campaign. So if I'm the one that's constantly screwing up the mechanics, now you know why.
It's all good. I heard this,
but I'm excited to be here.
Happy to have you. It's like a rule or two in D&D, and we'll figure it out, right? Cool.
Just a few.
Just a few. It's like a book or something. I've glanced at it. I haven't opened it yet, but I'll figure that out. And then last but not least is new face to LFTA is Chris. So welcome.
Hi, Chris Irish. I've been playing with these wonderful people for years and years and years, but this is my first time on their stream, so be entertained.
Yeah.
Well, I think you technically have played at some of the LFTA one-shot streams.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I organize the Extra Life event every year, and every one of these people have been to it, so it's nice to be on the other end.
For fun, for fun parallel, right? Chris was in the first IRL version of Two-Headed Serpent that I ran. So he got to experience that madness and then was a part of that OG campaign. And I took those notes and those interesting lessons learned and ran the game that, Vicky and Joe were in. So, fun. It all kind of comes together. All right, well, that's introductions. Why are we here? Well, we're going to do some D&D nerd stuff, right? We're going to get into some spooky Neverwinter ghosts and demons nonsense. And all of that is in support of the Surfrider Foundation, right? So you can see at the top right of the screen, we're pushing for that $2,000 goal. We were fundraising for Surfrider when we were doing Pulp Cthulhu. And we're going to continue to push that goal until we hit it, right? So if at any point in time during the stream you want to donate, you can... little surf donate tag, there it is, thank you, into the chat. Click on that, right? And also there's ways to do so through our Discord channel if you end up jumping into our Discord and following us there. But the important thing is for the characters is every time someone donates, there's a little icon at the top of my box with the number 1 in it right now. So I started there. That means the players have 1 advantage point they can play from, or they can pull from, right? I'm going to do this a little differently. If someone wants to designate a player to get the advantage, they absolutely can. If no one does it, I'm going to put it into a pool, right? And anybody can pull from the advantage pool at any time, right? The only rule is you cannot be the last person to have pulled from it, right? So first one's free. After that, like, you can't pull twice in a row. That's the only limiting factor.
No
And
double
of course,
dipping. Got it.
Yep. And of course, if you, use your channel points, you can give them a D4 of guidance on some rolls as well. So just make sure you say something in the chat so we can see you, and that way we know to wait to see how that all comes together. So, with that said, let's, you guys want to get into this game a little bit?
We're here. We might as well.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, oh, is that what
Yeah.
we're doing today? Yeah.
Yeah.
My other plans fell through, so.
People showed up. Some people dressed up for the occasion. So, like, props to the outfits. They were on point. They call them the fits, right? Is that the slang nowadays?
Oh, God.
The reds? I don't know. Drip? The drip? Okay,
points
that's
to,
the...
Points to Rouge for matching her lipstick to her outfit. That's a tough feat.
Yeah, good color coordination there.
Slowly, I will gather every color of the rainbow, and then I will not be able to be stopped.
Started blasting. Oh, man.
Absolutely.
And-
Let's get into it. Let's start a
All
fight.
right, with
Yeah,
the
let's do
glasses.
it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to the battle map. That sounds good.
That does
Cool.
it.
It worked. Good. That was my first test. Success. So we start this game in the Jewel of the North, right? The beautiful city of Neverwinter, a wonderful place where, despite its cooler climate based on the terrain, Neverwinter itself is actually a very warm city filled with blossoming wildlife and basically flora and fauna all year round, because of the fact that the rivers here are hot water rivers, hot springs, right? And what that lets the city do is, 1, keep its namesake, but 2, constantly have things in bloom throughout the entire year. So people in this city are very... This is a city of academics and creatives and crafters, right? People come here to seek their fortunes. People come here to express themselves. People come here to learn new and crazy things, or collaborate with people who are trying to learn new and crazy things. And the city almost always holds up to its namesake in the fact that it is just a blossoming place of wonder. So, as you look at the map, this is just so everyone has an idea of what we're talking about for Neverwinter. It's divided into 4 districts. There's the Blue Lake District, obviously, with the Blue Lake in the middle of it, right? It's a wonderful place, similar to a Central Park vibe, right, where everything is just beautiful green and around this, like, nice little, Centerpiece Lake. And outside, up in that area is, like, the more upscale housing area and district as well, right? A little south of the Blue Lake District on the river is Castle Never, right? It's more of a historic thing at this point. The monarchy of Neverwinter no longer controls the city. It's been given to a Council of Lords at this point, and everyone's very happy with that arrangement, but the monarchy is still respected, and they still maintain the castle and the grounds, and at times they'll open it up for people to come through, look through the gardens, look at the actual castle itself, and they're very happy to represent the city in higher visibility things, but they no longer have political power. Going further down to the Protector's Enclave, right? There's a lot of military in this district. This is where a lot of the arms from the city are produced. This is where a lot of the more aggressive temples, the ones that are very hands-on, have set up shop, right? This is where the Grey Cloaks, who are the city's guards, tend to garrison, right? They're, of course, everywhere out patrolling, but their garrisons are in the Enclave itself. Moving over to the east, there's a weird terrain feature you can see, right? looks like kind of a scar across the city. A long time ago. People debate specifically when. But over 1,000 years ago, there was a terrible plague that swept through Neverwinter. This plague did awful things to people. The best case scenario, if you were infected, was that it would kill you. Because the worst would have people transform into weird, undead, demonic, hybrid monstrosities that would turn on their friends and families, right? And, of course, by spreading chaos, they created more chaos in that process. And a lot of people attributed that to a combination of dark magic and a tear into the Shadowfell. And at that time, the King of Neverwinter, after fighting back against these hyper zombie demon monsters, basically realized that going into the chasm and stopping the source was impossible. It would have just the cost in lives alone was absurd. So he found his best archmages and ordered them to steal it. And they did. At the cost of a lot of lives, they managed to steal this chasm. And they continue to maintain that for many, 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 many years up until present day. So the Arcane Tower, we're located in the Tower District, right? Their main responsibility, outside of further research, is to secure the city, and that is a major part of their security concerns. But outside of some creeping blight energy, there hasn't really been anything of a massive disturbance. Flowers and grass and livestock don't do too well around this chasm, but it doesn't really spread. And of course, lastly, we have the Tower District, right? This is where you have the Arcane Tower. This is where you have a ton of just beautiful architecture in the city that the Nasiri family, which you all met Yusef Nasiri, is responsible for helping to build and maintain over the years that Neverwinter has been in existence. Right? Just a little blight as a treat. So, I say all that just so you have an idea of what Neverwinter looks like, because it's helpful, right? This is your city. So we'll go back to it. So with that, let's figure out where we're going to start with our players. All right. I'm going to start with Odette. All right. So everyone has returned from this adventure, right, with Yusef Nasiri to retrieve a bunch of treasure. And that was an exciting thing that happened yesterday. So you've had a chance to go home, relax, and then there's going to be more stuff coming up. There's a wedding. There's like some clothes shopping and a bunch of cool things that Yusef has invited you to attend. But that's tomorrow. Right? You've been away for a little bit. Let's talk about Odette and what she's got going on. So,
Of course.
Rain, you wake up. What does that look like?
When Odette wakes up, she wakes up in the Académie Royale de Danse. And I'm not sure which district that's in, but it's like the premier performing arts theater. And she is its director. She kind of like takes her long black kind of glossy hair, she puts it up into a bun, and she wakes up next to her paramour, Cole, and he is also a dancer, and she met him like one of their best, like the first thing she ever directed at the academy. But they started to fall in love. He is a shifter. He is a werewolf. Kind of. And she says bonjour and kind of like wakes him up.
Hey.
Like we have so. I don't mean to interrupt you. We have so much to do because you are going to be my +1.
Yeah, I'm actually hold on a second. And he like goes across the room, starts the coffee maker, and turns back and says, "Yeah, so you got an invite to a wedding, huh?
Yes.
That's awesome."
I have to say, maybe there is something to this adventuring type. It was exhilarating. I didn't think it would take longer than an hour, but it took a long time. And there's danger. Of course, Bella was there. You remember Bella, right?
It's been a minute, but yeah. That's the elf woman, correct?
Yes, I think she is half elven, but I mean,
my
she's
mistake,
still
my
family.
mistake.
She is still family, you know. But
Of
I'm
course.
so glad you got to meet her before we went on our exposition, because she is one of my oldest friends. I met her 50 years ago, if you can believe it.
Oh wow, has it been that long?
It's been that long, but
Wow.
astounding. And she goes over to the stand, and there's this a pretty sizable like black book. It's like leather bound. There's like silver filigree. There's like interesting constellations and strange things. It looks like it's
Drop
worn
props.
leather, like worn with love. And she starts flipping through it, and if he peeks over, I imagine he peeks over her shoulder, like hands her a cup of coffee. They share a kiss, and she's like, I think I've been thinking about asking her if she can help me a little bit with this Book of Shadows that Lady Alora gave me so long ago. Oh, I cannot hear you, my love.
Sorry, I just morning voice. She, so is she coming over today?
I was going to ask her. I know she has a lot of academic things that she must do. And like Lady Alora kind of like keeps the book open, but she goes over to her mirror. She's very petite. She has a dancer's build, pale ivory skin, and like a face like painted glass. She's dark, kind of like indigo, violet eyes. And she wears like I don't know, I would say like pretty stylish, like midnight blue to black clothing. And she starts like putting some stuff on. She's like, I was thinking of asking her. I mean, it would be nice if the three of us could go out shopping, use some of their hard-earned money, and get us something quite nice to wear tomorrow. It is almost like going to a royal wedding, don't you think?
No, of course. I've got a new recipe I've wanted to try anyway, so if she comes over, I can make something.
Is this one of your druid things?
It's a surprise, but it'll be good. Okay. Not like the last time. I got the red one.
And she
Holy cow! We just got raided. So, No Fame Podcast just hit us up with 9 raiders. Hello and welcome to the party.
Bonsoir.
It also just exploded my brain when that GIF went off. It's very, very loud.
Hello. Bonsoir. So Odette kind of like laughs it off, and she says, well, as long as it doesn't get any like too crazy. I have to ask you, how did all of the I know that you had your premiere. I know I met you. I saw it the first night, but then of course I got thrown into this whole adventuring thing. Mm-hmm. How did the rest of the week go?
He finishes his coffee and looks over at a stack of newspapers on one of the tables and like hands one to you and has a little article circled. He says, I think for a first event, it went pretty well. The critics weren't... You know what? I'm just going to roll a performance check.
Yeah, roll it.
There's what the boyfriend is going to say, and then what the rolls actually show.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He seems like... He says, you know how the critics are. They're kind of rough at first, but I feel like it went well, and I think the cast was really motivated, and I think we got extended for at least a week, so that's good. And you see the reviews are like, this is not the worst thing in town, but if you're on a budget, don't go. Was basically the feedback, and he's like, but a couple of them as you're flipping through, they were a little kinder, like, oh, this is actually a beautiful up-and-coming talented show. Like, people are going to clearly go places. So the mixed review was probably 6.5 out of 10.
It's not terrible, Cole. I guess, I mean, we took a chance with a new cast of characters. I think they're still all very talented. And she, like, goes back to the book and she's like, and I honestly think that they may be talented enough to kind of like, she, like, pats the book, learn some of the things that you and I have been learning from this.
As you're flipping through the book, as you go to flip the page, you feel a little bit of heat.
Oh.
And some letters start appearing on the book. Writing in it. You recognize the handwriting.
Mi amor, come over here. And she looks like she picks up the book in order to kind of like, you know, look a little bit more like sternly into it.
Mm-hmm. This is handwriting you clearly recognize from letters from your, your ancestor, right?
She like nearly drops the book and picks it back up. She says, Lady Alora is writing me. Like real time.
It's a very short message. It just says, Odette, you are in danger. Something has changed in the world. Be careful who you trust. I'm traveling to Neverwinter. I will see you soon.
She like just kind of catches her breath, her like swan-like neck, kind of like, you know, gulps, and she shows it to Cole, and she's like, maybe we should be a little bit more careful today. But this is astounding. Lady Alora, she is one of the oldest elves, at least that I know of. Granted, she has family, but she never leaves her island. It must be extraordinary, whatever is going to happen here.
That's really concerning. When was the last time she rode? I feel like it's been a minute.
Do I remember, or was it the first time I ever met her when I was like it was basically my quinceañera, my coming out party.
There's kind of this correspondence from time to time. You get the obligatory like birthday card or like check-in, but outside of that, like it's been a minute since you've had like actual communication with her.
I would say perhaps a couple of years. I mean, she has a repository of so much knowledge for our culture. She has so many other things to attend to that she would come to Neverwinter. I mean, part of me doesn't even want to go outside.
Well, look. Can't let fear rule everything, right? So we'll be cautious. We'll make sure we're doing what we need to do. I'm going to be with you, right? We'll be vigilant as we go, and we'll be on our guard.
And she like, you know, hugs him for like a spell. She's like, you're right. She did just say it is a warning and things are changing. So, danger or no, we are prepared enough. Let's get some breakfast.
Yeah, I'll start putting something together. If you want to get a hold of Bella, I'll set a spot at the table for her.
Oh, great, yes.
See if she's available.
Okay, Doc.
So I guess with that natural transition, we'll go to Bella, right? So, can describe like Bella and your place and how your morning's going.
I think this part of the day, Bella is already sitting at she's renting a room in above the local tavern. She is furiously scribbling away in what appears to be a journal. And is already dressed and ready for the day. Her hair is slightly elaborately done up and secured, and she wears almost slightly formal-looking clothing at all times. It's covered with like fine embroidery, cords of like adding like just details for the high neck to this set of very elegant-looking robes. And she is alone, as is her wont. So, but I think with a final flourish, she finishes whatever she was in the middle of with her journal, snaps it shut, and proceeds to head downstairs in search of some tea, perhaps, to start off her morning.
Okay. As you're sitting there and journaling, you do hear a voice, somebody talking to you, right? Saying, now I understand the importance of documenting, but you did just have a windfall of success. What are we doing with that exactly?
As she hears the voice, she like reaches up to finger a locket that hangs from her neck, and then answers to the empty room. Well, yes, we managed to find quite a bit of gold and equipment, but that's not the same thing as a windfall. We didn't get to keep any of those lovely books that we found, and we didn't find any new interesting magic rituals or knowledge. And
your friend Yusef did say he would let you have first pick at those books.
True, but I mean, I perused the titles. It's a lovely collection, very expensive, but there's nothing in there that I wouldn't have been able to find in some well-kept library. It's certainly not going to help with what we're trying to do.
Well, that's disappointing.
Anyway, we'll just have to keep, at least, as you mentioned, we did manage to make off with quite a bit of money from this task, so that'll fund our travels in search of something more enlightening for a while yet, and that'll just have to be enough.
What do you think about that mage friend that Yusef has, Mortimer?
I did not think anything about Mortimer. Why? What do you think about Mortimer?
It just seems like it'd be very helpful to have a high-ranking noble with a mage friend who could potentially owe us favors, and maybe we could access some information he has. Just a thought.
I mean, I suppose maybe if in lieu of more treasure from the dungeon diving we did, we could ask this favor instead. I mean, at this point, the getting the jewel for Yusuf was the favor, so if we can't use that to get access to Mortimer's knowledge and collection, I'm not sure what else we could do for someone such as Yusuf at this point.
He seems like a friend. Friends like to help each other. Well, regardless, we'll figure it out.
Well, in the meantime, I'm going to get breakfast, so And she sort of drops the locket and, as mentioned, snaps the journal shut.
So you head downstairs. You see Ised, who's the kind of bartender slash proprietor of the area, and he's just like, "Oh, good morning. Hey, what can I do for you?"
Tea? And, if you might happen to have any good, crusty bread, maybe something fresh?
Oh, I got plenty of bread that's crusty. I got plenty of bread that's fresh. I can do crusty fresh. You just got to give me a minute.
Fresh would be preferable, yes.
Okay, hold on. And the gentleman, starts working his way to the back. He's just a bigger guy with, large forearms, bit of a gut, big beard, big old smile. It's just, seems rather jovial. Comes back a couple minutes later. He's got, a cup of tea, a nice loaf of bread. He goes, anything else? We got egg sausages. We got a couple of things just cooking in the back.
Whatever you'd recommend, I guess.
All right. Hey, let's get the works out here. And I bring out just a parade of breakfast stuff, and you just pile it up. Basically an English breakfast. It's sausage and beans and some eggs and another.
I immediately regret this choice.
A big old thing of tea. He's like, "Oh, I'm taking tea." Switches out your cup, and it comes in a pint now, just a huge pint of tea. And he's like, "Yeah, enjoy. It's the house special, right?"
It is the house special the whole house? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh no, that's a whole different thing. If you want that, we can talk. But,
no. This is plenty. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I will stick with this.
Real talk. You got the room to the end of the week. You plan to stay longer than that? I don't mind because you got the space. It's first come, first served. You're already in there.
No, so. I'm just here for the wedding. I imagine I'll be moving on after that.
Oh, wait. The wedding, the Nasiri wedding? You're here for that?
Yes. Which is why, do you know any, good tailors in town? I realize I might need a second, set of clothes for something slightly more appropriate for a wedding.
Yeah, I know a guy. How do you feel about Zill?
Zill?
Yeah, about 3.5 feet tall, a bunch of arms, a little scaly. He's a friendly guy. Just some people get a little shocked when they first see him.
That would be fine, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, he runs a shop called Closed Minded.
Sounds excellent.
Cool. He writes down the address, right? And he kind of leaves you to it. He's got a few more customers. He thank you. So starts attending to them. You can hear him across this entire area. Every person he's talking to is just a very loud conversation, and people kind of back up just to absorb the volume, right? So we've established this is kind of a weirder world where tech is a thing that exists. Right. So my question to Odette or to Bella is: did you give Odette a contact point for where you're staying?
I mean, we did have training and stuff like that ahead of time, and yeah, we talked. I think I would have mentioned what inn I was staying at.
Okay. Yeah. So you could see he said there's a large chunk of crystal back by the bar, kind of hums and stirs, and he picks up just a long, spindly, pointed piece of it, and it's just hey, oh, you called me? Who's this?
Oh, me. Bonjour and good morning. Yes, I am looking for Bella.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Okay, yeah, hold on. Hey, Bella, and he just underhanded tossed you the crystal.
Oh, thanks. Hello?
Oh, bonjour, Bella, it is Odette Beauvoir.
Hi, Odette.
We were waiting around for you. I wasn't sure if you were coming to breakfast or not. I know we spoke Very briefly, but I would love to spend the day with you, my dear. We have so much to catch up on.
Oh, certainly. I'm very much engaged for breakfast at the moment, but if you'd like to come here and join me, there's plenty. So, we can definitely, do whatever you'd like after that.
Will you?
I just need clothes for the wedding is
Oh.
my main concern.
That is exactly what Cole and I were interested in exploring today. I know that Yosef said that he would make an entire day of it, so I don't know if we're going to be seeing him either, or if we'll have access to his tailors, which would be quite nice. We'll discuss when I arrive. Who was the person I was speaking to just a moment ago?
Oh, that's the innkeep.
Oh.
You'll definitely recognize him probably by voice whenever you arrive.
Duly noted. My love, I will see you so soon. I'm so excited to see you. And there's a it's not a click or anything like that. It's like a crystal zap.
And I think Bella would just sort of hold up the crystal and wave it, and then just gently put it at the edge of her table.
Yeah, just toss it here.
I don't think that's a good idea.
All right, I'll come to you. That's fine. He grabs the crystal, slaps it back on the large mount of crystal pieces. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You know what she does? She just mage hand floats that shit back over to him. That's what she does.
All right. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, class A.
Gotta play to your strengths. And my
100%.
strength is not doing anything with actual physical muscles that I don't have when magic can do it instead.
That's why you gotta eat. Check the macros. Get your protein in. So,
Magic
Make sure-
macros.
make sure you finish all that before you head out. Here's your bill. It's it's 3 silver. Which is a lot for breakfast, but you were fed an absurd amount of food. And
I basically hopefully buy a breakfast for the party if I can slowly con everyone into showing up and eating this.
of course. So we'll swivel around, right, to a different part of town. Going back to the map, right? I'm assuming that these conversations are happening in the Blue Lake District, right? That's where the inn would be. That's where Odette's dance studio would be. It's like I said, it's an upper class kind of area. It's very nice, but you're not in the tall skyscraper towers of prestige and research that would be the Tower District, right? So all that's happening up in the Blue Lake District, but down in the Protector's Enclave, right? Valen is, I think, having a morning, right? What's your morning ritual look like as you are back in the temple? I assume. Where are you?
Well,
You tell me.
What I pictured. All right, so we finished our big dungeon crawl. Valen gets back to town and immediately goes to the Temple of Tempest, his god. He's walking up the stairs, has not changed his armor, still covered in mud, blood, bits of ghost. Don't know what those look like. The guys in the spiky armor in front don't really care. He walks in and
I give you a nod.
you hear some mutters along the sides. It's the dwarf. He's the chosen of God. Give him a minute. And he walks up to the altar, falls to his knee, and puts the Holy Avenger's hilt on the altar. The place goes dead silent. And then there's the sound of a lot of knees hitting the floor and very fervent prayer. And then he would absolutely get the hell out of there and go to a bar. He would probably grab a couple of the spare guards who aren't on duty and take them with him, go to a bar, meet some friends, take them to another bar. This proceed to the rest of the night. He has an entire mob of people around him that are having a great time. He probably went until they stopped selling him beer and everybody stopped hanging out. And then he went to bed for 2 hours before getting up without a hangover because he's one of those assholes.
Very nice.
So yeah, he's rolling out of bed in the temple, just, it was a good night.
There are a lot of people who are very excited at this recovery of a religious relic, right? The alleged recovery of the
What? Alleged
Holy
recovery. No, recovery's real. It's an alleged artifact, but I got that something.
So is huge news, right? And there are a lot of people who do go out and celebrate with you, right? You see when you first come back and you put that hilt on the altar, a good solid 60-70% of the temple are immediately just snap to some type of attention or kneel posture or what have you, as a sign of respect. Some people follow suit but are slower and less rigid about it, and you notice there are a couple of people that you've had some issues with in the past who like just scowl at you and go to like look at what you've dropped off after you leave, right? But the next morning, you've had your wonderful night of celebration. Father Stone comes to wake you up in the temple area. So I assume you're already up, and it looked like he tried to get one up on you, but like you were waiting, you were ready. He expected you to be like hungover in bed. It's like
doing very short push-ups.
You gotta go lower on those.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what's this I hear about you recovering this relic?
Oh, it was great. We went into this underground temple with ghosts, and like there was a fiend that was turned into goo and came back as a ghost, and I killed him. Blows of light. It was awesome.
All right. Well, a commendable effort for sure. Scholars are going to take some time. They're going to look at the hill to make sure it is, well, what do they actually think it is, right?
I went through the treasure looking for something worthy of Tempest, and I feel like this is what he sent me there for.
Go ahead and roll an insight check. Father Stone is an older guy, right? He's got a bald head, a couple like dinks from like clearly a broken nose. Clearly like took a mace to the head at some point and like just kind of healed. So he looks like he's just got a very bruised. He's got like that boxer finesse almost, right?
Yeah.
He's got,
That
like,
drill
big,
instructor look. Yeah.
Yeah, like big shoulders, like cauliflower ears. Kind of like a weird V frame that started to fill out a bit over time, but it's just huge slab of person.
I got a 14.
Okay. He looks clearly conflicted about something, right? As he says, he's listening to you, and you see him nodding along with like every part of your adventure tale where you're talking about the Holy Adventure. But when you start talking about, oh yeah, I did this all for Tempest, he's like, I guess. But he doesn't say anything immediately. He just kind of sighs and says, There's a lot of people in this church who have strong feelings about your derived purpose from Tempest. You see. I know this isn't the first time you've heard it, but there's a process for how members of the church are selected and eventually elevated in status. And you've bypassed that to a very intense level. Which is, in some regards, great. I am happy to see Tempest active in the world. But it breaks everything that the church is used to. And from a rank and structure organization, coming in and claiming you are effectively a captain off the bat rubs people the wrong way. I know that you're not saying that, but by saying that you are appointed on this holy mission, that is the impression.
mean, I didn't ask for this. Tempest pulled me from the field of battle to talk to him, and I devoted my life. I was an atheist last year. This is not my bag. I've read the book. It's very interesting. I've memorized as much of it as I can. But I didn't ask for this, and he seemed very enthused.
I understand your predicament. I just wanted to make you aware of it before you had to face it from other people who are, well, let's face it, I've spent a lot of time with you, I've gotten to know you, and I've gotten to better understand your situation. There are others out there who don't. They just see someone coming in and claiming it's all for the glory, but remember, they don't see it as glory to Tempest, they see it as glory to yourself.
All right. Anybody that has a problem, you send them my way. We will grab a beer. We will talk, and I'm sure that I can convince them of how important this mission is, because Tempest must be spread wide. Everyone must know the glory of Tempest, and if anybody doesn't understand that, please let me talk to them. I'm sure that we can get along.
Of course. Now, the good news is, I apologize for starting the day kind of rough. The good news is, you've been given a pass or a leave of absence just because of the heroic actions you took over the last few days. So, the time is yours to do what you will. You are not expected to be at training for the next 3 days. You can, of course, enjoy the city, take some time, reflect. You're welcome to stay here and continue to train, but the options are yours.
Well, thank you. That sounds great. I got invited to a wedding, so I guess I'll wear the holy vestments, keep the symbol, let people know how hard Tempest worked for these holy matrimonies.
It would be good to have representation there. All right, well, I'll leave you to your morning, and good job.
Thank you. I was going to go grab some breakfast. Do you want a breakfast beer?
I would love one. Right. So, as you go out to the temple, right, you kind of see what Father Stone was talking about, right? Some people are just like giving you a thumbs up, and they're like slapping you high fives. They're like super hyped about the idea that you are the person that brought back this relic, and they are so happy to meet this actual, well, celebrity, basically, right? You're famous. It's huge. It's a big deal. And some people are a little standoffish, and some people clearly go the other direction as you start to walk by. As you're heading out to breakfast, Father Stone stops for a second. You can see another person in the temple, and you know her, a woman named Keziah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very high-ranking Steelheart in the temple. Looks at Father Stone and gives him a very curt gesture, basically a knife hand, and then just like, come here.
Oh,
and
no.
he says, I'm going to have to meet you a little later for breakfast, but you got those 3 days. Enjoy them.
All right, well, let me know if you have any free time.
Of course. And you can see her starting to, like, talk to him in harsh tones, and him kind of, like, grumbling back. And I wonder how... Where do you go for breakfast?
I would probably go to Bella's Inn. I've heard good things about the breakfast there.
Okay. That's very easy then. So, yeah, you head out. You know where Bella's staying. You know that there's a kick-ass breakfast buffet there. The breakfast beer is off the chain.
Nice.
Right. And good thing about
They've got a pretty filling house special.
They do.
I've heard it. I've heard that it's the appropriate amount of food.
I'm afraid you heard me. I'm afraid you're going to think I said a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was all the bacon and eggs you have. So, you start heading through town towards this inn. Which, by the way, the name of this inn that I wrote down is called the Violet Crossbow.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Yeah, so great place to hang out. Okay, you start heading through the city. Itzel.
Yep.
Walk me through
we're
your
in the
morning.
Tower District. Because we've been camping in the botanical gardens. Yep. I say
Also
we. Sorry, go ahead.
There are a couple gardens throughout the city. So the Tower District is obviously one of them. The Blue Lake does have a nice camping area around it. You could also camp by the chasm. Not a lot of people do.
So, like, Neverwinter in the Cloak Tower has botanical gardens, like, canonically. We're not going for ginger shrooms, but, you know, it's there. So Itzel traveled here with her cousin, and, like, Metzley is really good at herbalism and, like, potion making, and she makes friends much easier than Itzel does, because Itzel does everything for the purpose of her destiny, and some people find that off-putting. And Metzley is a ray of sunshine in druidic form. So we are helping, sort of, the people in, like, raising medicinal herbs, etc. Metzley brought things from our homeland. We're learning about things from theirs. You know, making ourselves useful, but we're also legitimately, like, camping in the gardens because that's comfortable. So we're hanging out there. So, like, Itzel is up, like, making tea, and we're, like, making notes and drawing in, like, the dust of the ground, different things that I saw in the stars last night. I've, like, take out my focus, which is this, like, thin plate of, like, abalone shell that has holes drilled in it in the shape of constellations. You know, have, like, meditated this morning already, like, you know, talked to a frog or two. And that's how we're, like, waking up. And, like, you know.
Pull one thing real quick. As you're waking up, do me a favor, roll knowledge nature.
Okay.
Just to have an idea of, like, how all this collaboration's going.
Okay.
Let me look at something.
Once again, I'm merely assisted. Like, I'm an afterthought in my. Boop. 13.
13. Yeah, it's going fine. No issues there.
Yeah. Like, Metzley is better at this stuff than I am, mainly because she's better at people than I am. But
there's one thing I wanted to try to find, and I put it on my phone because I was smart about it, and I forgot about where I put it. There we go. All right. Yeah, the collaboration's been going just fine. The morning meditation has put you in a strange place, right? You came here for a very specific purpose, right? Driven by a, well, vision, prophecy, however you want to describe it, right? Something in the stars told you that this is where you needed to be. That led you to this group, right? It led to Yusef and his family crest, something you saw in the prophecy as well. But it's hard to interpret what all the doom and gloom actually means, right? Do me a favor. I'd like you to roll, I'm going to either say nature again or arcana. Your call.
Okay, then. Let's try. Yeah, they're the same, so we're just going to roll Arcana because it can. Let's do that one.
Arcana nature.
18.
18.
They're not the same. Sorry, they're not the same skill. I have the same bonus in both of them. Mechanically, they're... Yeah.
It's all just nerd stuff anyway.
Yeah, like, it's related to plants and magic-y things and the stars. Maybe rituals. Stuff. Yeah.
you've had the same dream every night since you've been here. And meditation helps to clarify it. Right? In that dream, you of course see that house symbol that you now understand, the diamonds and the scimitars together, right? You see that burning shield with a fiery red sword on it. You see that weird, mysterious bone locket. You see the whisper of a figure dancing or striding from shadow to shadow. And you see those strange runes somewhere under a mountain. And that's what you've seen until last night.
Oh, fuck. Okay, we made the strong tea this morning. All right.
Now things
The stuff with the mushrooms. Okay.
seem very different. You start to see around you, and it lingers, Neverwinter as a completely different place. As you are looking around, you see kind of this is while you're sleeping, you see the moon, right, as you kind of come out of sleep for a little while, just completely blacked out and gone. Neverwinter is thrown into this bizarre, shadowy, and twisted landscape where things are still the same, but they are 100% are not. They're twisted reflections of what should be. And you see all of this shadow and darkness spilling from two places. The first one, as you look across town, you see just a vortex of shadowy liquid almost spilling upward like a geyser from the actual chasm inside Neverwinter itself. And just before you wake up, though, you catch a glimpse of a second, smaller geyser. It almost like it looks like a perfect point of dark light kind of aiming up into the sky. And that's coming from the Tower District. And it seems that the small one is feeding the larger one. And you wake up.
Okay. Not necessarily knowing as much of like history of the city, I'm still going to assume she knows something about like the chasm and the spell plague and.
Oh
so,
yeah,
like,
that's a huge event.
Yeah, so like, does it seem like I'm seeing the past, or does it seem like I'm seeing the future?
Hard to tell.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's very much like, you travel
That's the
to
distressing part. Okay.
you travel over to Paris. Everyone knows there are catacombs under Paris, but like, good luck navigating them.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. No, we're like making the strong tea, and like, maybe like some like extra muttery ruminating this morning in the, tea drinking rituals, etc.
As you're getting ready, as you're moving through, kind of your campsite, you look into the water at one point and like you see a reflection of yourself, but it's all skeletal and twisted, and then you blink and it comes back to normal. You look around and you see the trees just start dripping strange, oily black leaves. You shake your head and it goes back to normal. Right. How'd you pronounce your friend's name?
Metzley.
Metzley. Okay.
She's my cousin. Well,
Got
she's
it.
not really my cousin,
Cousin.
but she's my cousin. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
cuz. Yeah. We were raised together as druids. As far as I know, she might be my cousin.
Yeah. Metzley looks over at you, and she goes, "Hey, how'd you sleep?" With these just like dark eyes carved out into her skull for a moment, of just like endless black abyss, and she like reaches to hand you another cup of morning tea with these like bone clawed hands.
Yeah,
And
I've
then-
had enough tea. I've had I'm awake. I am so.
Oh, are you
awake.
okay this morning?
No.
Back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Bigger things on the horizon. Gotta. Yeah. Bigger things on the horizon, and I'm gonna like sort of like gently like pick up her hand and like just feel for the actual like squishy solidness of real flesh on.
Yeah, I mean, as you're looking at her, hands back to normal, right? It's just like a little bit of dirt under the fingernails, and like she's been up digging and like looking at plants and everything. Like it's perfect.
Yeah,
like
just smells
hard
like
calluses,
eucalyptus and mint and happiness. Yeah, definitely. Metzli, you're pretty happy here, right? Like you've been doing great work with the gardens, and the mage people at the the wizards.
they can go by whatever title they like, but yeah, the bottom line is they're knowledgeable, right? I love it here personally.
I'm so glad. I know. I'm so glad.
This is like a vacation, and the fact that we get to do all of this and do all this research, and I'll be honest, it's a little nice to see the city life as well, but we have our own compartmented little like biosphere, basically our own little garden that we can just test and learn in.
Yeah,
it's great.
Protected in a way, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
That it feels familiar and safer than being just out and around. Can you make sure that you stay here? Like if I like had to go for a little bit, the destiny and all, you would stay put, right? Like you're happy and like you're happy here.
Yeah, I'd stay here for. I mean, I could also go with you and help you out if this is one of those like. Is this one of those things like it's like the big, a big deal?
It's the big destiny. Yeah, I think it's the big one.
Okay.
But
I can go with you. I don't know why I'm whispering. We're the only two out here, but like.
Yeah. I think this is the big, but it's I do like at some point I think we're gonna need I might need you to be in the tower district. It'll be good to have someone closer. I think some of this energy is coming from here, and I might need you for that. But I couldn't bear to take you away from this work or put you in unnecessary danger before I know exactly what the trajectory is. And right now I'm not sure.
Okay, so something bad happens. Go to the tower district.
No, something bad happens.
Just stay here.
Get out of tower district. Also, really far away from the chasm would be a good idea. Yes, like maybe just go home.
Like the ocean.
Sure. Yeah. Or like up the river. Not tower district though. Like.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So, what are we doing this morning?
I think I need to find we have a wedding.
We have a what?
You're going to a wedding?
Okay.
Yeah. We can go get things for that. That's probably polite. I mean, like, all of these things distracting from the really important things going on. I guess people still have to live their lives, and it's distracting, So we're gonna go to a wedding, but I think I need to find the people from my vision that came with me into the ruins below the mountain.
Okay. Well, I can make this easy. Lady Bi is supposed to come by today and look at some of the garden progress, but I can walk her through all of that if you need to go. That's not a problem. And then,
I don't remember who that is, but I'm sure it's important.
Oh, she's the older lady with like the silvery hair, glasses. Looks at stuff like this. I don't.
Okay.
Very interested.
Yeah,
in
I don't have dreams about her, but I'm sure she's nice.
I don't either, but like it's. She's coming back
Like
today.
Metzley, I just wish you would get understand real the important thing here, right? So, uh, yeah, okay. Well, if she's coming in, that's great. Is she a seamstress?
I think she's a researcher.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing how that connects to the bigger destiny.
Oh, no, it doesn't. I'm just saying she's going to come here and look at our research so we can keep staying here without a problem.
Well, you can take care of that, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go do other stuff.
No,
Thanks.
absolutely. I got that covered.
Okay, thanks, cuz.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like, she's like, Metzley's handling the money, etc., because that's not important to me. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, yeah. Do you want me to? No, you know what? Actually, you probably should pick out wedding stuff, right? That's a you skill. Maybe.
Anything in purple scale, I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, cuz. All right. Love you. I'm gonna go. Oh.
Okay, and she like hands you like another cup of tea as you're leaving.
Yeah.
And like I think as you're walking out, like you start to walk one way, she kind of point you in the other direction, and like
Yeah. Like, all right, that one. No, thanks.
bye.
Bye.
Okay, very cool. So the three of you kind of converge on the violet crossbow, right? And Bella, I think you're still sitting there at the table, just like trying to take care of this English breakfast plus that you've been served on like 4 different plates. And yeah, as you all walk in, you're met with that. Odette, I think you hear that same booming voice that you heard on the phone. Right, the gentleman, like beard, a little bit of a gut, just like, good morning.
Oh, bonjour. You are the one that I heard on the crystal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bella's over there.
Oh, thank you. And Odette kind of like looks around. She's
Okay.
a little bit of a celebrity, so sometimes she's just kind of looking around to see if anybody notices. But that's just like her. And she's just like a shadow, just kind of like glides across the floor toward Bella and gives her so good to see you.
Do me a favor, make me a charisma check, please.
Yes, I can do that. Damn. So that would be just a straight up charisma?
Yeah.
You got it. So 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, a couple heads turn when you walk in. Nobody like leaps out of their seat and ambushes you, but there are people who are just like they look back, and they're like, oh my god, you can like hear the conversations, the whispers. You'll probably get asked for an autograph at some point, or a moment of your time. But also, as you look around and like really take stock of the place, the Violet Crossbow is a inn known for 2 things. It's overwhelming portion sizes, and it's shooting competition enthusiasts, right? So there's all sorts of varieties of like either thrown or projected tournaments that happen out back. That's a big deal, right? It's not like a city-wide, like you're traveling to win hundreds of gold in this competition, but it's every Friday night they're out there throwing axes and shooting crossbows, and there's like a little victory cup that gets passed around from people, and you get half off on drinks if you win for the week, right? That's a big thing.
So Odette kind of brushes out her skirts and kind of like has a seat, and she says, "Someone's hungry this morning."
Oh, is that you? I can get you a whole setup as well.
Oh no! I think we should be good with this. Thank you.
Okay, it's an extra silver to share a plate.
Odette like blinks her big, kind of like violet eyes. Her eyes are like violet indigo. They're very smoky and inviting. And she just like looks a little flabbergasted a little bit, and then like retains her composure, and she says, I've only heard of this place a couple of times. Did you take part in any of the activities that go on behind here? She like mimics throwing a dart.
Don't
What?
ask me, I run the thing.
She like surprised when he like shows up looming behind her.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You got two more people here who are looking for Bella, so I just wanted to bring them into the conversation. But yeah, I run it every Friday night, 8 o'clock, if you want to come out and like shoot. All right, enough of that. Anyway, enjoy your breakfast.
Maybe. I'm guessing not.
Val and Itzel are kind of given like little spots at the bar, or you can pull up a table, and you are situated.
Yeah, I would say the guy knows Valen. Valen loves to come to this place for the competitions and then buy drinks for whoever wins. Probably came down here around 2:30 last night. I think it was bar number 5. We had a good time.
Yeah, you get the trophy from last night, actually. Actually, no, do me a favor. Roll a ranged attack. Just...
He would absolutely just be watching. He would be cheering his ass off and watching whoever's good at this, because I smack stuff, Well, actually,
Gotcha.
he does have a bandolier of throwing hammers. You're right.
Yeah.
That is an 11.
You competed.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he's happy to see you. He gets everyone settled back in. Have at it.
Great to see you all. Please, have some of the house special. I did not really anticipate this when I accepted the innkeep's suggestion for breakfast this morning.
That says, oh, that looks awesome. One of the same.
You got it.
Hungry this morning, Valen?
Okay, yeah.
It's good to see you. And she
I was
like
gonna say, if Itzel knows where you're staying, she's going to like basically come in and just start like picking off of the plate. Like
Yes,
like this is communal food, right? Like that's how we do things.
It's a silver to share a plate.
I'm not using a plate. Just, yeah.
All right, half silver.
Weird customs here. All right. We'll dig out, an appropriate amount of copper and put that on the surface of the table. How is everyone? Anyone have weird feelings this morning?
yes.
Vision okay?
We just had an amazing adventure and a great party, and it's a beautiful day.
I don't want to bring anybody's expectations down. However, I think I did have something very mysterious happen to me this morning.
Oh, you too? That's good to know. Okay. You first.
Well then, that makes sense. You make sense of the stars, and she clears a little bit of her small frame, pushes some of the food aside, and then thinks of it and pushes it in Valen's direction, and grabs a grape, and then she kind of dusts it off, and she takes out her tome and just kind of starts rifling through and finds the right page. And finds the page where Lady Alora spoke to her most recently. So, is it still there?
It is not.
Oh, that is a disappointment. So she in hushed tones, she's as you know, this was gifted to me when I came of age, and it has, aside from a lot of undecipherable things, she flip. She points to a diagram of 3 people seemingly walking in a circle with their hands touching, and then a couple of diagrams over, they just fade from view. It also has some interesting diagrams that I have learned quite a bit from, but sometimes, very rarely every couple of years, Lady Alora, my undying ancestor, she speaks to me, and she wrote very dire warnings this morning. It said that I was in danger, it also said, well, that I must be wary of who I trust, if I remember correctly. And the most surprising thing that she said was strange things are happening in the world. So not just here, but the strangest thing is that Lady Alora said that she would be coming here to Neverwinter, which is unheard of. She is on the Isle with the rest of, well, my ancestors, the people who are at the top of their game, so to speak, and were preserved forever, so that they continue to give the elves guidance. She never leaves her tower, and she never leaves her island.
Are your ancestors mummified?
It is a very good question. I would say that most people think of undead as disgusting things, like those shadows that we fought underground. Our undying ancestors are preserved in a myriad of forms. However, some of them are physical, but instead of using negative energy, they use positive energy. So, yes, maybe a little bit. I've never seen her face before. She has lovely arms, the arms of a dancer, perfect for like a shawl or kimono or something beautiful like that. She has long, beautiful, warm, silvery velvet gloves. To be honest, I cannot actually remember what she looks like. It was so long ago. But she is a good person, and she saved my life.
But she's neither dead nor alive.
I do not know enough about the culture to tell you that. She has been preserved so she can serve us in our ignorance as we continue to live, partially protected by them and partially in bliss.
Yeah, Itzel is pretty sure that this goes against laws of nature, but we're gonna wait until we see it. Yeah, okay.
Did she say that?
Gross. No. But her face is gonna say it. Oh, okay.
But that is the warning that I got this morning.
And
of course,
the words appear on the page like in your dreams, did they? Or was this a vision? How did you...
No, my friend, I was having my coffee.
That depends greatly on what kind of coffee. Okay. And the words are no longer there, but this wasn't in your head.
No, Corsolet as well.
I mean, is there any
Was he also
chance
drinking the coffee?
it was just late? And it was actually about everything we just did in getting the jewel for Yusuf?
It could be related.
I mean, you were in danger for a minute there. I mean, we all were, so...
So, a bit of a delay, you're saying?
I mean... could be? I don't know how prompt your undying ancestors are with this sort of thing.
They are very slow to act, if I know correctly. She kind of shrugs, but she's like, but that is partially why I wanted to come to you, Bella. I wanted to... I know that something crazy happened with the Book of Shadows before we went in, and it seems to resist some of the magics that I produced.
I see.
Remember?
Yes, and I remember Itzel was the one who was able to do something to make it better. Maybe
Oh yeah,
Itzel
we dispelled some magic that.
is the one who you want to talk to about the book?
I'm maybe. But
Real
we
quick,
didn't say...
Bella, just so you're tracking, as you're having this conversation, you can occasionally hear murmurs in the back of your head of just like, Undying. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Ask more. You have to ask. You have to ask to actually.
But
when it makes sense, just.
But I'm happy to try to help. If you could maybe tell me more about your where you got the book from. I know you mentioned Undying Ancestor, and do they give out a lot of these books?
No, just the one. She closes it. She's like, this is very rare. It is part of the Beauvoir family heritage. She does not give this out every generation. I foolishly took it. I studied a little bit, but the stage called. So, and that is what I took too. She kind of hesitates and kind of like swallows, and she's like, it was only until I experienced a grand tragedy, the death of my mentor, unfortunately. He was murdered by the premier dancer at the time. She and I fought, and she grievously injured me. We were fighting, I remember it so well, in what we call the Ghost Wing of the Academy. It is empty for whatever reason, but nobody goes there. It was after the premiere of my directorial premiere, and we fought amongst shafts of moonlight and snow, and eventually she wounded me. I had nothing left to lose. I was dying. So I used a move that I learned from this book. I could even show it to you, and she kind of like flips through. I kicked her into a prop mirror. It did not shatter, nor did I find a body. She was gone. And that is when I started studying it a little bit more in earnest. This was between when I saw you last, Bella.
I was going to say I was not sure that I recalled this particular aspect of your tragic history. Just for a measurement of scale, did you get a warning about that danger before that happened from your Undying Ancestor, or did that not rate getting a message from them? Just curious.
Yeah, good question.
I really looked at the book at that point. I knew some of the diagrams. I have since learned to decipher some of the writing, but... Andy?
Ominous typing in the background.
I didn't write an adventure, but here goes.
This did not register on the scale of events.
She did not write me. I also barely looked at the book, maybe once a week, to kind of protect technique.
If she's writing you, it is more than mentor dying and being attacked by your nemesis, who grievously injured you. Level of danger.
Yes.
Got it.
And disappearing into a mirror, not that with that. Does that not freak anyone else out the most about that story? Like that,
oh yes,
that's weird.
Terrible.
I mean, frankly, magic.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
It is true, but that is why I would love to work with any of you that might be able to help me decipher some of this. Maybe even before Lady Alora dies. Like, I don't want to disappoint her.
Before the Undying Ancestor dies.
She's the mummy's not dead.
Arrives.
That makes more sense.
She's coming here.
I had some real questions about what the title of Undying means, if there was, like, death was, imminent. So she's coming. When is that happening? Would we maybe get to meet Lady Alora?
I would love that. I don't know. I know that she'll find me. And she, like, pats the book.
Great. I absolutely would love to try to collaborate with you to try and find out more about your creepy book.
Oh, that would mean so much. And she takes her hands and squeezes them. And she's like, but Itzel, you seem... I feel like I was being interrogated. Is there something that you know?
Well, actually, I mean, all of that is significant sounding and creepy. But actually, no, not the significant and creepy I was talking about. So no one has seen faces become skulls this morning, or none of... Okay.
And you think
So I have
Odette's story is creepy?
Yes.
A
That is
different
what?
kind. Undying is a strange concept. That goes against some laws of nature. The
Laws.
Well,
They're more like guidelines,
like guidelines,
really. Yeah.
the as you all know, I was brought here by a vision that continually that brought me to your symbols. The
Yes,
burning
you've
shield
mentioned
and
once or
shadow
twice. Yes.
This is critically important that we stay on task. The dream has changed for the first time since I've been here, and the geysers of shadow coming out of a twisted landscape of Neverwinter might be past, might be future, both the chasm and the tower district, and then upon waking I still had echoes of this vision of things that were tainted or unright, and my cousin's hand was bone, and then her hand again, and but something has changed in our mission and in the next phase of our greater destiny here, and while I'm not entirely certain that an undying ancestor is part of what that may be. Do the velvet gloves cover up skeleton hands? Like, is that the gloves? Is that why with the gloves?
She seemed warm to the touch, but maybe she might be self-conscious. Geysers of shadow.
And almost like liquid, and two of them. The main one being from the chasm that ripped apart Neverwinter, but the smaller from the tower district, and just that sense of apocalypse, differently than before, but new vision.
That is very worrying. What do we do?
This must be our main focus.
But what do we do?
I mean,
as someone who is not as acquainted with the history of this area, I'm not sure whether I was seeing past or future. So a place to start might be to take a look at whether what I was seeing was past, and whether that is a vision of what had already brought ruin upon the city, or whether this is a forthcoming event.
Well, anything that's going to go on in this town, we should probably talk to Yusuf about. I mean, this seems like his wheelhouse, you know?
Oh, it would
We're
ruin
going to see him
living.
today.
That's right.
he could. I'm sure it could wait.
No.
Man's
No, it
about to
can't.
get married.
That's true. We're going to interrupt his nuptials with the apocalypse. You know, it's a... I mean, what's the
Yes.
worst that could happen? Just give him a day.
The end of the world.
Well, Lady Alora did say that
The
big things were happening.
It's just a wedding.
Oh no!
I mean,
don't say just a wedding.
Just
around
a
here.
wedding.
That's a bad. It's a bad.
The
move.
man hired a team of people to get a heart-shaped jewel for his wife. I feel like it's not just a wedding to him.
And
He
it was
faced
this very
possible
important
death
set
to
of
get the
circumstances
jewel
to bring
for
us
his
together.
wife.
In the grander set of destiny, it's just a party.
I mean, we got a bunch of very.
I shall be very grateful to Yusef for bringing us together, but he's a side thought. But he might be a useful source of information.
Itzel, my love, your sense of scale is so. The lens is so far back. You need to, how do you say it? Stop, smell the roses. The small things.
Are
Warm
not
bread.
our
She says-
priority?
Oh, what is that?
Are not our priority. Metzley deals with the roses.
Well, what about what was that handle called? Velen?
Oh, the Holy Avenger.
That was an impossibly lost artifact. I mean, that is a sense of scale. Perhaps that is related.
I'm pretty sure that's why I was here. Tempest told me to go down there and look for something good, but he had to have known.
It might have been related.
Bella, do you practice religion?
Sorry,
Oh, do you worship any gods?
Oh, I don't like to talk religion, with people.
Oh, no.
I find it impolite.
Good answer.
Fair enough.
You hear that thought in your head. Like, good answer.
That's great.
But you know, I don't. It's not to say I have a problem with other people talking about religion. She says hurriedly, like glancing at Itzel and Valen.
Very well. Itzel, are they just nature gods? Perhaps Shantia?
Either
That you
the
worship?
forces that I worship aren't anthropomorphized in that way. We have gods in the land where I come from, but they're smaller manifestations of the greater forces of nature, gravity, the sky, the stars, time. Giving it a name and a face would cheapen it.
Oh, I had not thought of that.
Yeah, for lesser brains maybe.
Odette like flutters around a little bit.
I have a question.
It's a comfort maybe. The being able to think of a larger force with a face to it. I'm sure some people need that, like a teddy bear.
Speaking of teddy bear, I mean Cole, my werewolf boyfriend. You probably know him. He and I worship Illustrae, and he has actually received her blessing before. Illustrae? No?
How nice for you.
The goddess of the dance, the blade, and the hunt? No?
I think Valen
Who
would be
wants
familiar
more
with that.
croissants?
Yes, maybe more coffee and tea.
potato bit and like
Maybe
Hey,
more breakfast beer. I think we need a round of breakfast beers.
Breakfast beers come with complimentary breakfast shots from 11 to 12. You want those too?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Sounds good. And he starts, pouring more stuff out for you. As you all kind of, as conversation descends into just, chatter and like the occasional rambunctious back and forth, right? The question to you all is, you have plans at some point. Yusuf wanted to meet you and take you shopping for clothes for his wedding. right? He offered to do that and make a big thing of it, right? Shot of whiskey to raw egg. Had a lucky strike in there, you got me sold. Right? So the question becomes like, when do you contact him, right? Or do you? Right? He had a whole thing where he's like, I want to take you all out, make a day of it, let's go. Just when you're all together, you have his address.
Itzel now sees the like there's a practicality in asking him about history things. So if the excuse is that we need to talk to him because we're going to get stuff for the wedding, then at least that furthers, what we really need to be doing right now. So also
Planning a wedding.
Metzley will be happy if she gets something pretty to wear. So yeah, okay. But we got to keep going on the actual path, people. All these distractions.
Yes. Cole will be... He is taking care of theater stuff, but he'll be joining us soon as well. Oh, you should have... you said it was your cousin?
Yes.
Oh, is she coming?
Well, yes. She's better with charm, and sometimes that's helpful. She also works with some of the mages in the Tower District, so I think she'd be excited to meet more people who do research, especially with herbs and plants. That's her specialty. She's very sweet. Everyone likes her. That's the advantage.
I'd love to meet her.
That's why they had her come with me.
Cool. Yeah. As breakfast kind of settles down, you all manage to kind of walk or catch a cab, right? You have a lot of money, so that's up to you how you travel. A couple thousands of gold. That's fine.
Yes, actually, I was going to look into getting a mule. Yeah.
So I picture like Betzel's Metzley, right?
Metzley? Yeah, Metzley. Yeah.
Metzley,
It's-
got it.
yeah.
Her face
That
as you
was.
come back with like this massive sack of gold, and she's like, okay. I'll just put that in the corner of my tent, I guess. I'm just like trying to sort through that. But you arrive at the Narsiri Palace, right? And you've been here before, right? You spent a week here doing some Ninja Warrior training games, testing to be selected for this cool...
Yeah, just fucking
Ooh.
rip it, baby.
We got a donation.
Lock that down, dude.
Oh,
Yay!
no.
Big boy.
It's a lie. It's a test donation. Oh. But I got me excited anyway.
But I think it's because we do actually, because I'm looking at the donation page and it does look like we've gotten a couple donations and it's just not updating on the stream.
Oh, no!
Yeah!
Well, thank you all for your donations. I will change the advantage counter when I have a chance to look at it. That way
I think there's been like the one you knew about from
2 donations.
Heather and then a second one at some point?
Guest checkout. Is our OG back? Alright. So there are 3.
Wilzard said that we did get 2 donations.
It's 2.
Cool.
We've gotten 2.
Yes, so 3 in the advantage column for you since I gifted you 1 to start.
Oh, how generous.
I know, right? It was the least I could do. So you head to the Narsiri Palace, right? Very tall spires, beautiful fountain, lovely courtyard, right? The guards at the front, they all nod at you. They recognize you. They know you have an invitation to return. And they open the gates for you, and you immediately see that like courtyard and fountain area. And as you all walk in, the fountain like surges up in a large wave and kind of like crests over the top of the edge of it and just hangs there above all of you.
Burble!
And just burbles delightfully at your presence, and then splashes back and does a couple little Bellagio fountain jumps
I'm
as
so
you have
happy
come
that
in
he's
and
made
just swirls
peace with
around.
Yusef. That's great. I'm sure they had to have a heart-to-heart about that, but that's fine.
But seems genuinely excited to see all of you, right? And I think what we'll do here as you walk in and get settled is take a break now before we talk to Yusef, and we continue. So let's take 5. Well, let's take 10. Let's be generous. Take 10.
How kind of you.
And we'll come
Just
back and see if
overflowing with generosity today.
Yeah, it's the first session. I got to get all my niceness out now. So, Yeah, let's
out
say
the
10.
way.
We'll come back and we'll continue this sweet adventure. So, everyone, thanks for hanging out, and we'll be right back. We're back. We're live. We're here. We got drinks. It's Sunday. We're just vibing. Hell yeah, grip it and rip it. Who did it?
Hell yeah, grip it
All
and
right.
rip it.
First one of the stream. Of the campaign.
First one of the campaign.
Of the Apaka hit, if you will.
Oh.
I will not.
The best Apaka hits of the decade, you know? That's
Will it earn me advantage if I laugh at your dad jokes?
No.
Then I refuse.
I can tell a fake laugh. I know.
Excuse me, we've already had one of my highlights so far for this game is definitely the I'm going to make a dad joke about the name of the shop and then pause to wait for everyone to react to it. Yup.
You have to understand, I looked at every single person's expression one by one and went, yep, the cast has chosen violence, I see. Like, the overwhelming majority has decided that if they were here in person with me, they would take me out. Good. This is why we stream games.
This is why we do it remote. For the DM's safety.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not scared. Come accept my real bad puns in reality, and we'll just play Dungeons & Dragons in real life. That'd be cool too, I guess. You know what? That sounds great. Let's do that.
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say, the snacks
yeah.
can be better. Yeah.
Ooh.
Shared leftover Chinese
We'll just do a
food.
special session and just have to, the next donation pool will be to fly Vicky home so that she can game with us in person.
Oh,
That'd be
yay.
good. Get a bunch of great food. Be like, roll for initiative. It's a snack attack.
Definitely Veil Breakers brunch needs to be a thing now because yeah.
We did do Brunch
Violet,
Thulu.
Violet
for,
Crossbow has set a high standard, and mimosas for all.
Was that Two-Headed Serpent we did Brunch Thulu for?
We did. Character Jen was over some brunch. It was a good time. So, brunch breakers. I like brunch breakers. That's good.
Brunch breakers. You'll get caught up in the brunch breakers. Brunch breakers.
Is that the Crossfire theme?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Well done.
You fucking know it. You fucking
Man.
know it.
All right, so
I-
we have a theme song and we have our team mascot with Burble. I think we're hitting all the merchandising hits. So
we
This
don't
is
have a
Saturday
team
morning
name.
cartoons, behind the veil. Yep.
This would be an amazing Saturday morning cartoon.
This
God
would be
willing.
amazing.
We all meet in
Somebody-
Veil Breakers 2, the quest for more money.
Well, okay, the most important thing that we do not have, that we were given homework for, and we didn't do,
Uh-oh.
thing. Yosef was like, before we went into the dungeon, this was behind the scenes for our viewers.
behind the veil, as it were.
Behind the veil.
Oh,
Oh, good night, everybody.
That's our after show review right there. It's behind the veil.
Oh my god.
you're right. I forgot that Yosef had told us. Oh no.
Go ahead. Tell him.
Yosef asked what our team name was, and when he
What did you
waffled,
say?
and Valen
We have
said,
not made one.
"Ask us when we come out alive."
Right.
And we're out. And
We're out. He
And-
came with us. He held
All
his
of
own.
the possibilities were related to goo or we encountered a lot of things that if we base our name on that, we're gonna get some odd looks walking around town. That's
Okay,
what
so
I'm saying.
shadow stabbers. Stabbed shadows.
Shadow Stabbers.
silent mushroom
anyway.
people and the
The Goo Gang.
No.
Fake beholders, not attackers.
table mimics. Yeah.
Actually, we're just
Professional
not
mimic
another mimic.
finders.
Yeah.
Just listing all the stuff you killed.
I'll be right back. I have to replace that battery here.
Oh, no worries. So you have defeated my first question as I look at my notes for the conversation with Yusef, which is, hey guys, what's the team name?
Damn it. We realized this on the steps going into the door. We're like, shit, hold on. Oh wait. We forgot.
We're about to knock. Wait! Oh. It's good times.
Just got to go hang out with Burble for a while longer while we brainstorm.
I was gonna say, walking up the steps and Gruff just grabs my cloak and is just looking at me pointedly, and I'm like, oh shit, the team name.
Thank goodness for Gruff.
Good Gruff,
Keeping this whole
yeah.
team together.
Oh, he missed
So.
the entire adventure.
He's hanging out at the fountain with Burble.
Yeah.
They're having a blast.
Can you tell us what Gruff looks like and what kind of?
Yeah, for those who do not know, it would be helpful.
Yes, Gruff is my battle mount. He is a celestial war goat. Because I summoned him with my
Celestial
paladin
war
spell.
goats.
And so he's a giant goat in armor, kind of glows. And he has an intelligence of 6, so he's smarter than some of the barbarians we meet along the way.
Yeah.
And he's just chilling with Burble. They're playing tag around the fountain.
So I bother everybody with this question. What color eyes does Gruff have, and what kind of eyes does he have?
Gruff has very nice blue eyes. He looks like he feels very bad for you that you're not a goat. He forgives you, and he's going to have pity for you, but it's okay.
It's okay. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
So much empathy in those sideways pupils.
Nice brown judging eyes. That's what I-
Yes. Now you see, like you look back at the fountain, like Burble, like Gruff is in the fountain with Burble, like just pushing it up in the air, like you saw with Yusef, kind of like spinning him around and like just having a blast.
Woo!
Yeah. Sets him back out, jumps back into the fountain. Like the guards are just like, that's
Do we stop this? No. He's having fun. It's okay.
yeah. Everyone's having fun here. I guess it's not our problem. What are we, the fun police? No, we're not fun police, Jerry.
That's the after hours band. God, only when we're at karaoke night. God.
I will remind the group that we were underground when we met Burble, the water weird, and it was it basically kidnapped Yosef and was like throwing him around, kind of like this.
They were having fun.
And then what did Yosef say? I am
"Not
not having
hurting
fun.
me." Not having fun.
It looks like he's having fun.
There were, we have to assume good intentions, Odette. All right, and like the reaction from the reasonable members of the party saying, "Is it dangerous?" And the answer was, "Yeah, of course."
Yes.
But so are you.
I did enjoy. We're in the dungeon and we get attacked by two sides. So of course the paladin shouts to the druid, "I'll take the undead. You take the water elemental." And that's how you end up with a pile of undead and a new pet.
While I was in the other room, I used my shadow porting ability to come up behind another shadow, attack it, was attacked by the big bad, and everything went according to plan. Nothing did. Nobody came to my rescue. You were dealing with Yosef and a water weird.
You're just abandoned completely. I'm going to move your scene
worked
to
out
all of you
fine.
sitting at a table, kind of like in front of like a nice bay, in front of a nice bay window that's been like pushed open, with like on hinges, and like you can see on like this balcony, the tower kind of overlooks the ocean and like different areas of the district. You have a great view up here, and this is the five of you. Yusef has come in and sat down with you all. He's wearing actually white slacks and a shirt and suit, as well as like gold filigree around it with like that high collared style that he has, with the little family crest pins on his collar this time, a little more formal, a little less rugged for dungeon diving. And I think like as Odette tells this story, everyone kind of like puts down their like 3rd to 5th breakfast beer and just laughs as they're all reflecting this about this entire like endeavor into the dungeon. And he was like, "Oh, it was such an interesting thing to watch because, I brought all of you in and you're so good at the obstacles and you're so good at problem solving. And then with the spikes, I was just like, I can just create a rope to swing across, and like the Valen just charges through, and my God, it was so bold, it worked." And then
I'll
watching
trigger the
Odette
trap.
pirouette,
Everybody else come along behind.
Odette pirouetting right behind, and people. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. I'm so happy that all of you managed to become the team, right? So such a good moment for everyone. Did we ever settle on a team name, by the way? I know I kind of left that out to the open, but I don't want to introduce all of you incorrectly at the wedding. I don't want to be like, this group of people I met. I want to give you a fearsome name. Or at least a name with the proper amount of gravitas for the heroes that went with me, right?
I do not mean to assume, but are the heroes of Waterdeep already taken?
I think that's a Waterdeep problem.
Neverwinter. Heroes of
Yep.
Neverwinter.
I'm so sorry. It is my 5th year. I'm
No,
unlikely.
I understand. I simply jest.
Of Waterdeep, is that taken already?
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter.
He like reaches over and grabs your breakfast beer and slides it away from you.
I want to say Neverwinter, but with all of them in Baldur's Gate, everything is so conflated. Anyway.
I have a friend who does this. We were playing a campaign in Waterdeep, and she cannot, for the life of her, remember Waterdeep. It's some combination of syllables and concepts. Like, Never's deep, winter's water, and water freeze, and it's not a bit. She just can't get right. It's hilarious.
I've been playing Elden Ring and Elder Scrolls, and I've been saying Elden Scrolls for quite a bit. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Neverwinter Scrolls.
I do like Neverwinter Nights. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Neverwinter Gates.
Oh, you want to be the... Oh, Neverwinter...
I was going to say, we could be the
Neverwinter
Neverwinter Nights KN.
Oh
Yeah.
crap, that's really good.
That's brilliant.
Who suggested that?
That is
Oh,
that would be Will.
Wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, it's like you reached into the ether and just picked the perfect name.
I can hear it. I don't know where it's coming
Yeah,
from.
you know. Yeah, huh.
It's like 9 to 13 people are screaming this at us.
Oh my god.
Neverwinter Nights. I love it. It is a great name, and I will of course be happy to introduce you all at my wedding as the Neverwinter Nights. Now, in terms of ceremony, there's nothing overwhelmingly formal. You simply have to just walk from one end of the aisle to the other. If you would like additional roles, I can certainly make that happen. But obviously, the biggest role you've played already is helping me secure the Celestial Diamond, and that I can't thank you enough for.
Itzel's face will have a flash of panic at the realization that we have to actually be a part of the wedding and not just attend. But yes.
You're the Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be lovely if one of the holy people in our company gave some kind of benediction?
Absolutely. Tempest will bless your wedding.
I would be very happy with that.
What about you, Itzel?
Yusef, we did want to talk to you about the history of the chasm and the spell plague and like, I'm sorry. Yes, we will absolutely bless your union and your happy marriage. I will be certain to make up an appropriate circle and blessing for that. But importantly, about the history.
That means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Yes. I mean, like, avatars of time are nice and all, but worshipping it just seems a little strange, doesn't it? Anyway, the
Right, so a history lesson on a day like this. We could
so if one were thinking about the cataclysm that caused the chasm along the eastern side of the city, do we know what that looked like when it occurred? The monstrosities does the word geyser of shadow, that phrase, resonate with any of your historical, knowledge of the city, maybe?
Geyser of shadows. And then you hear like a squeaking noise, and Guy comes flying in and lands on his shoulder, a little bat, right? It's kind of actually seems to really like the sunlight. Kind of spreads out his little wings and like seems to bathe in like the nice afternoon light.
I want to
And he,
steal this bat. Okay.
Scratches Guy. And he's like, if you're referring to the spell plague that occurred nearly a millennia ago, then that is the closest thing I could think of that would match that description. But the reports are vague just because there were so many things well, destroyed and burned at the time. Because people can't even come up and agree on what year it actually occurred. But
and when you say destroyed and burned, so
it was terrible
like
chaos.
the landscape didn't look like a, say, twisted version of itself. It would have been charred. This is important.
It says, to the best of my memory, the conclusion was that the spell plague released a portion of the Shadowfell into so I'm looking at the chat.
Have you seen this bat, though? I'm just saying. No court would convict us.
I should have loaded up a picture of the bat. That would have been a good idea. It's a very cute bat. So,
So, one of the animals we've stolen isn't technically an animal. It's an elemental. It's fine.
you didn't steal it. It willingly went
Rescue.
with
It
you.
willing, yeah, it's fine.
It very much wanted to leave with the place it was in,
I am trapped in a fountain, yes.
and is happier living in the Bellagio fountain now.
Yeah. Sunshine. A
Right.
cool bat toy, and occasionally a goat.
Yeah, people. So, let's see.
Okay. So Shadowfell.
Yes.
Okay. So the energy of the.
The,
And-
the plane of darkness. Yes. So the way I've read, and again, this is not my area of expertise by far, but the spell plague and the Shadowfell triggered effectively a change of the environment of Neverwinter into something twisted and weird. It was.
Okay. That sounds similar. Was any of the source of that, say, in the current Tower District?
I do not know. Mortimer would honestly know more than I would.
Ah, okay.
But we can, of course, make a point to visit him. He is. It might have to be after the wedding. He is very busy. Unless this is something that you think we should take.
Feel that it is of the utmost priority?
I could certainly leave him a message. He is an archmage. He is very busy.
That was the turtle.
How are we busier
yes.
than the end of the world? The
I will leave him a message. He is very prompt to respond.
Itzel, you are getting that look on your face
That-
when you have a prophecy
that's-
to discuss.
That's very kind of you, Yusef. I will do my best to be in the moment at your nuptials.
Do you think something's going to happen with the chasm? What, today? Tomorrow?
During the wedding?
Who can say? When the end of day, the dreams have changed. I just one would think it would say edge itself above other priorities on the list, but I'm sure your celebrations will be lovely. I will be happy to walk down the aisle for you and write up a blessing from nature.
He nods, and he does look serious and contemplative, and he says, I do not mean to brush your concerns aside. I simply am not a person who can interpret or verify those types of things. I have the knowledge I have from my studies, and the people who are experts, I hope are available.
Oh,
to
I mean,
talk
on the
more.
bright side, it does sound like the past apocalypse could be the one that this is referring to, but I'm not sure that makes this better, but past would be better than imminent, maybe. One's just never sure.
I
Not,
understand.
not to add to the concern that we all feel, but a very important person to my culture, she is on her way right now because she is worried that we may be in danger. I would not, and she finds herself like convincing herself to be basically taking Itzel's kind of argument. I would not want to stop your wedding for the world. You have worked so hard, and you are so in love, and it's beautiful, and you have the perfect gift. And she thinks about it. She's like, "Can you tell us the history of the diamond that we procured for your spouse to be? Why is it so important?"
He smiles and he says,
Yes, it would make a lovely speech, wouldn't it? Yes.
The history of the diamond is actually very scattered. For quite some time, it was passed around from different empires or given to different either princesses, queens, kings. For at one point, it was owned by a few religious bishops or personnel, right? Before it simply disappeared out of existence for 1,000, 2,000 years.
And now we know why.
It's apparently been locked there all that time. The funniest thing, I think, is like absently is like feeding Guy a grape. Is that Guy was the one that actually helped me find it.
Your bat?
No, yes. I was...
We knew we loved you.
When I proposed, Suri was ecstatic, and so was I, but you try giving someone like Lady Suri a gift that could be unique and individual, right? That's an odd problem to have, but what do you give to someone who has most things? It presents a complication, and so I thought something unique and custom, and so I began looking, and Guy of all people actually pointed out the page about the Celestial Diamond's history. 3 years it took us to find that place. And that was at the with the help of all those who had come before us looking for the treasure of the ancients and never actually found it.
Is Guy
Scratch.
I do not mean to assume, is he an enchanted creature? Is he?
Oh yes.
She kind of like gets low and she's like, "Are you a wizard?"
No, in fact, my fortune was that he came to me one night, literally in the gardens. I was out meditating, clearing my mind, and I heard Guy chirping, chittering. I, of course, offered him some food I had, and he stayed. And of course, I thought nothing of it at first until I realized his intellect was higher than that of your average. He looks apologetic at Guy, bat. And Guy guy's like, he's been an invaluable companion, though. For any type of architecture, having someone that can use projection to sense, phenomenal.
But you are not a spellcaster.
No. I'm just simply the lucky recipient of his, well, kindness and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sounds like a familiar.
I was gonna say, Itzel's gonna look at him and be like, blink twice if you're a druid.
It looks directly back at you. Blinks once. Good at eating the grape.
Have you talked to the turtle about him?
Mortimer, yes. He definitely agrees that Guy is a familiar of some type, enchanted creature, but from where? He's never said.
Odette looks at Bella the way two friends typically look at each other, like, isn't that interesting? And she takes a long sip of her breakfast beer that she somehow found again.
Brought it all the way from the inn.
Yes,
It was a to-go breakfast beer.
it was to go.
I have breakfast beers here. Why did you bring yours? Okay.
But she like
I'll take both.
She looks at Bella and is just like raises an eyebrow, like, is this something you know about that's like kind of normal or whatever? So
Bella is going to actually try and talk to Guy. Bella has bee speech.
There it is. Let's do this.
That's right, Jim. Now you have to leave with that.
Oh, no. So that's the thing. I knew that putting this many fun and whimsical creatures into this game, this is eventually going to happen. I thought it would be Gruff first. It's Guy. Let's do it. So. Alright. How do you cast this spell? What does it look like?
Like a lot of Bella spells, it's almost like smoke and mirrors level of like wispiness. So
okay?
she just sort of like runs a hand across her face and like tendrils of smoke come out of her fingers and like seep into her ears and like her mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, I also am waiting for this accent. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, have a good night. Cool. So what do you say when you talk to Guy? You cast this spell, and what?
So, hello Guy. How are you today?
Well, hi.
So...
He drops the grape.
So, my friends are kind of curious about how you are so knowledgeable and how it was you found Yusuf, and this seemed like the most direct way to try and find out.
I will do a Stitch voice for money.
We
I'll do a
can be
Stitch
bought.
voice for fun. But
I can be bought. So it doesn't have to be Brightwood that donates. Did you give me money? Fair enough.
She didn't even make a request.
I was gonna say
Ohana
Fuck,
means
that
family.
hand is clean.
that.
I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch in a minute, but here we go. So, hello, my name is Guy.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, what was your question again?
My companions were curious about how it was that you came to be so knowledgeable and how you found Yusuf.
Oh, well, actually, it's a very funny story. You see, Yusuf was incredibly sad in the garden, and that's why I flew in, because he was all alone, and I was all alone, and I decided that we could be a family together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You know, and in my culture, it would be, that means family, and no one gets left behind.
Oh God, this voice! I'm never talking to Guy again.
It's a defense mechanism.
I didn't think there was going to be anything you could do that would make me not want to talk to this bat, like, literally all the time. But you did it. Like, you did it, man.
I'm a bat. My vocal cords are not designed for this kind of thing.
Well, no, the bat's just squeaking. It's just like how I'm interpreting it, because I have bee speech.
Yeah,
I'm
your
squeaking
brain
at the
did
human
this. This is all your fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Burble is confidently silent at all times.
That said, roll insight on this guy. I don't know.
You're gonna interrogate this poor bat. Yeah, screw it. Roll insight. Roll insight.
Oh
Do
my
it.
gosh, if Guy turned out to be the big bad, you know what? Sure. Just so that we can say we covered our bases, I'm rolling insight on the weird voice bat.
Have fun interrogating your friend and his familiar on the day before his wedding, after he just said you were the best people ever and wanted to put you in his wedding party and buy you custom clothing.
Not
Good
his
news.
familiar.
I only got a 6, so Guy could literally be a monster and I would have no idea.
It's a bat. You know, it seems like a solid enough story for a bat.
Yeah.
That's what a bat would say.
I have a question. Do you have any bat friends around that you know? With you spend a lot of time in the shadows, right?
You forgot to just use the bat cloak. It lets you polymorph into a bat.
I mean, I can only polymorph when it's in darkness, so it's daytime. I can't do that anyway.
Oh.
We also can't tell what her conversation is saying, so I can't.
No, you can hear her end of it, I think, right?
Yeah, because like,
would I
can't
be
tell what she's
squeaking like a
saying.
bat
Yeah.
so that Guy can understand me? How does I actually don't know how the spell works.
I have to look it up. It's
I
People
can
Devil, right?
find familiar for another bat, but you know, if we're that.
Bat girlfriend.
Let's see.
Yeah, apparently I'm dating Guy now, is what the chat has decided.
If find familiar
This is
means
insane.
that I have to hear this Guy voice more, I don't know.
I'm so excited to be this bat forever now.
Perfect.
I'm gonna go watch Lilo and Stitch after this to do some research.
This is not no, yeah.
For,
Oh, I know the voice is
donations,
probably wrong as hell, but that's
for
fine.
donations, he'll stop doing the voice.
Yeah.
I do a decent
see.
Stitch
How much
voice.
how much
but
do I need to
now
pay to
I'm
make you
like-
change your voice for Guy?
20
What will
bucks.
that cost me?
$20.
Yep.
20
Rolling wheel of accents.
Yep.
It's true. I did get cowardly, and I'm not doing my Kiwi voice for this character because I was worried I was gonna mess it up. But
Yeah, you are
But now
squeaking
I don't
back,
feel
by
it.
the way, in the same manner. So if you could attune
Yes.
your dialogue to match mine, so because he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's weird. I'm having trouble understanding you." It must be your human accent. Can you talk with the accent?
I'm going back
The
into
accent.
mute.
Oh, your accent.
Oh god, what a great concept for a game. Are you actually donating to make me stop?
Yes, I am.
Success!
You know what?
Doing that.
Fair enough. Bullied one of my players into donating. That's fine. And that's what we're all about here at Laugh at the Apocalypse. Cyberbullying your way to donations for charity. Through funny voices. Alright. You don't actually have to donate.
No, it's a thing now.
I mean, if you're already doing it, that's fine.
yeah.
It's for a good
So-
cause.
That's true. That's true. It's for-
The good cause is changing the accent.
Whoa, what else do you want to talk about while we're here? The spell lasts for like an hour, and I got plenty of time. Allegedly, that's what the spell would. If I were.
Oh, and the good news is I cast it. I cast it for free. It doesn't use the spell slot, so
Yeah, you
I could do this whenever I want.
Do this
Which
all day.
will now be never.
You can have this conversation whenever you want.
Oh man, now that I know that, we're going to talk to so many dogs.
That is what I would use it for if
So
I
many
had speech, yes.
doggos.
I'm
and just
worried that they
asking how
don't know they're the best boy.
Oh god, all of them are the best boy.
I was gonna say yes. Actually, Will's comment in the chat is pretty much exactly what I was just thinking, which is yes, this is our campaign about the veil
It's our
between
series
life and death,
campaign.
and yep.
Guy coughs and sputters a bit and goes,
Oh, something.
"Sorry,
stuck in your throat?
I had a grape seed stuck in my throat." Anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, so now I understand how you found Yusuf, but it seems that you're very intelligent and knowledgeable, and I guess I was just curious where it is you had found this information,
This
like how.
Ohana.
Where I found the information on.
The
Heart.
the heart, the
Yeah,
stone,
the diamond, the celestial diamond.
Yeah.
Oh, I learned it.
How? Where?
There's- Oh, I used to work with a mage. He had me fly around books and stuff and help him do research, and it was books are heavy. My wings were a lot bigger back then. I have kind of been slacking off, but yeah, I was flying around books and helping him just find things that he needed. And I just remembered reading about the diamond in one of the books, and Yusef was looking for gifts, so I said, hey, this looks nice. Humans like shiny things, right?
It's true. Lots of humans do like shiny things. You're very wise, Key.
So do you know other bats, or like is that a?
I don't currently know any other bats, but
Okay.
I am very interested in learning more about bat-like things because I just got this cool cloak.
Oh, there's a cool.
So like I can turn into a bat now sometimes.
What?
Yeah,
So
so
cool.
like we could hang out and do bat things.
Yeah, that's really cool because I can't turn into a human, but if you can turn into a bat, like we can like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yusef is just sitting there like watching this whole conversation. He's like, so
You have any questions you want her to ask him?
oh no, I am good. I've spent many hours speaking with Guy, and we have a very good bond. Thank you. I do have a bunch of things planned for today.
Oh,
that I set
Right,
up.
right. Well, thank you very much, Guy, and hopefully I will get to talk to you again soon. And she's just gonna, like, run her hand over her face again, and sort of as if she's, like, drawing the smoke back out to cancel.
That's what a lot of. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Squeak,
Water
squeak,
flutter.
squeak, 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 squeak.
So, it is GYI, I believe is how I spelled it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yusuf's like, yeah. So, of course, I will send that message to Mortimer, and there are a few places we need to go through town to get you some clothes, some shoes. Of course, I would like to officially thank you all and have a celebration. There's a date. I know it's different in formal dancing, but there are a few places we could go. We'll go dancing as well. And of course, I'd like you all to meet Suri if we have a chance. She's very busy before the wedding, but she may come out and grace us with her presence. That would be
that
wonderful.
would be lovely.
So, would anyone like another breakfast beer before we go? Ha ha! Slides you one. Gets up,
Yes.
straightens his coat, kind of runs his hair back through his hands back through his hair. Get that nice dark wavy hair slicked back. He says, "Okay, I have a carriage waiting for us. Let's go." And the five of you pile into a carriage and you head downtown, right? There's a couple different places that you can go. It's basically a fashion montage, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll save a little bit of time because I don't want to do a full shopping episode. But
Ooh.
for $20, we can do anything on this channel. So,
Within reason.
but there are within Twitch TOS. So, asterisk.
Also, we're still not getting notifications for the donations. Should the counter go to 4 with the Stop the Voice donation?
Oh,
I suppose it should.
Important.
I suppose it should. Let's see. I'll change that. But so there's a couple places you go to, but the place that Yusef stops at first is a tailor shop called Close Minded, right? That was recommended to Bella as one of the best clothing shops in town. A little pricey. As you go in, there is, in fact, Itzel, right? I'll update that thing in a second. Itzel sitting there, and Itzel look kind of like kobolds, right? They're reddish skin with scales, but they're a lot thinner. They're a little taller, and they have 4 arms, and their 2 feet can also there's a word for this, but can also be used as hands as well, right? They've got that kind of
Prehensile?
Yeah, exactly. And so there's a person getting fitted, and this Zill, as you come in, is just literally all over, like just the hands and the feet, kind of like adjusting the seams and the collar and like doing the waist measurements, and just like looks over and just says, "Oh, hello, I'll be with you in a moment." And then about 5 minutes later, that person walks out the door, and you're sitting there in this wonderful shop, right, filled with just colored fabric, all sorts of beautiful different like suits, robes, different like shirts, different types of fashion for the seasons, like scarves, hats, are already just displayed. Plus, in the back, there's just all sorts of insane patterns as well. And he says, "So, welcome. You know, my name is Kai. How can I be of assistance to you today?" He's got like a couple needles in his teeth and like the little tape measure kind of over his like scaly neck. All right.
Who wants to go first? Perhaps it should be the groom-to-be?
Oh, I of course already have my apparel set out.
Oh, that's
This is a
wonderful.
gift to all
She,
of
like,
you.
pushes past.
Oh, thanks. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, you were ready to
she,
go.
like,
Then.
she, at this point, like, I think, met up with Cole, and she pulls Cole forward. And,
That's a nice place. This is fancy. Wow.
It is.
Can we afford?
We can get anything we need.
Anything?
Well, within reason. She looks at Yosef. But we also have our own means, finally, so...
I've been meaning to get a new
Everything we-
vest.
Go ahead.
I've been meaning to get a new vest. I think.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Claps his big hands together and starts like trying on vests.
Odette, like, I'm assuming there's, like, a little stand, kind of like with a couple of mirrors.
So as you go into this place, you know, Kai kind of walks you around. And he's just like, so here's the deal. Anything you're interested in, anything at all, simply touch the rune next to it. Walk over to the stand here and touch the same rune. You'll see yourself wearing that outfit, sized appropriately to you. Right? And of course, if that's what you want, then it'll take the measurements, and I can do my work and get you out of here very quickly. Not that you're in a rush, of course. I just simply want to make sure your time is valued.
Of course.
So, but try on as many things as you'd like. While you're waiting, there's coffee. There's some cookies and it points to like a little tray of like high-end little like snacks.
Odette, like, looks around a little bit, and she's like, I think I have an idea. And she, like, looks at a couple of different fabrics, and she just, like, gets up next to the mirrors, and she just kind of brushes down her dress, and it's like a slinky, like, suddenly she's dressed in this a sleeveless, kind of like a slinky, kind of like black glittery number, with like a modest neckline, and she's like, something like this a little bit. So, without touching any of the runes or anything like that. Something that I can move freely in, but is not bogging me down at all. And then
Honestly,
she, like, adds a scarf to it.
yeah. He says, that looks phenomenal. We actually have a set of gloves and hat that will go with that if you'd like to have a full ensemble.
That would be perfect. Perhaps a choker?
Of course. It kind of runs off to the side, and like you see him like press a couple of the like runes on different stands, and you see like a large like black hat appear, like some very nice gloves with like unique designs on them that are like accented in colors, and a couple nice chokers that you can kind of like flip the next one, flip the next one, flip the next one, and you're like, there's the one.
Perfect. I like the purple one, and it would go with gloves. And she's like, thank you so much, and she just kind of like shakes it off, and she's like back into her original garb, and she's like, so I was like, next.
Okay. Zill looks at the three of you and goes, or who's next? Step on up, please.
Oh, and Bella will peruse options available for a little bit, before, I guess, eventually touching the rune, standing up, and, honestly, you would even question how much like it changed between the set of robes she was wearing and now it's like slightly more formal robes with you know, a little bit lighter fabric perhaps, and just different embroidery and like instead of like the blue sort of teal set she's normally wearing, it's now more of a like a red and gold color, and that seems to be the biggest change between the previous set of robes.
Yusef kind of like leans in and goes, I hope the storm does not mess up my wedding.
Yeah.
Got it in the background here too. It's very ominous. Yeah.
Came from nowhere. The Archmage should be able to push that away. They can keep the storms away from the city. But this is a gift. You are welcome to. Please take more if you so desire.
Oh, I mean, I imagine this will do just fine.
Yeah, of course.
Ella.
I'm happy you like it.
Odette comes up. She's like, Ella. Remember some of the skirts that you used to wear and that beautiful cloak?
Accessories.
Like, what about you? Look so good in those.
What did that cloak look like?
Gosh, can't I? You know, I just couldn't for the life of me remember which particular outfit you are referring to. If you see something like it in the options, I'm happy to try it on.
Oh, of course. And so like Odette just kind of like moves, like kind of flexes slightly, and help me build this, I guess, if you please. So it's like a like there's it might be older, like 50 years older about. So like maybe do you like Empire waists at all?
Sure.
Sure. So like there's an Empire waist. It's embroidered in gold. It's like royal kind of like things that kind of hang in like really nice defined folds, royal blue, and then she like turns around and like there's what kind of like cape did you wear back then?
Bella back then wore I think I think it was sort of this very soft like knitted like hand woven cloak with sort of an ombre to it.
Yeah. And so she like
ombre.
Ombre? Oh, so like a kind of a gradient almost.
Yes.
So and then she like turns around and like this cloak appears on her, and she's like, "And remember, we made the joke about the ombre." I remember it perfectly.
Yes. Now that you've jogged my memory, it's all coming back to me. Yes.
Kai is there and goes, I do love a good joke. Do you care to share?
Oh, Odette could tell it so much better, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, if you
Forums like
if you insist, and she just like she laughs about like they're out, they're younger, and they're somebody is like, oh, that's a terrible ombre fade, and then we're just like, well, why don't you just fade away? And like, we all laughed at it, and she was like, you really have to be there. It's not particularly funny, and Bella is not really laughing. And she's like, and that became our thing. We told people to fade away.
Of course.
Right.
It's delightful. I'm going to go freshen up the coffee.
She seems crestfallen, and she goes off to find Cole.
Cole is off to the side wearing just a vest, no shirt, no nothing else, and just like a vest, and kind of like looking at like the way it like lays on him. He's like, oh, this is
looks good,
nice, so he's doing all that. Kai walks up to Valen and Itzel and just goes, all right, who's next?
Valen has been volunteering to tell you what he thinks of any outfit, but no matter what you wear, he tells you how great you look. He's like, that's amazing. You look great.
I think Yusef is right there with you, like, yes, of course. Look at that, outstanding.
I love that.
Valid says, I could use some new vestments, a dire har of Tempest to go with the armor, white and red. White with red trim.
Of course, I have just the thing. And he like scampers off, and you actually see him like climb up a shelf and like hit a rune, and like it just appears on you as you step onto the platform again, right? And you can see like this just wonderful like delicately woven vestment of like gold and red with like little flame swords inlaid in it, and lightning bolts on the other side.
Cool. That works.
Do you want to do anything about the armor?
No, the armor's good. No, no, you're not touching the armor.
We offer a shining service.
No, I don't want to be shiny. Thank you. You're very good at your job.
The armor
I love
stories. It. Yeah.
Of course. And for you.
So I've been thinking about this. So like, get ready. So like, Itzel's gonna be drawn to, like, the brighter fabric stuff. So she's gonna like have been in the bag, and she's like snacking on the little like petit four that he had out with the like coffee. So I've got like 4 of them in my hand and just like eating as we're walking through. So when she steps up on the rune portion of things, there's a like outer dress in like an almost like homespun kind of a like, you know, that undyed linen color in like a very simple like v-necks, sleeveless, but like split in like the middle, and then on the sides like pretty high up, and underneath is this like mostly diaphanous like multicolored like different pattern rainbow etc like fabric that's like got a lot more fullness to it, so like sticking out between the different like slits and panels along the bottom, so when she moves there's just like a whole bunch of color bits. And then it's all about the like what we have put together. So she's gonna grab like white turquoise and put that like a necklace that's like chunky like hunks of that, and then like long parrot feathers in her hair, and like big pieces of like jade and all like stone kind of baubles, but like tons of that, like you know, bracelets halfway up her forearms, and
fantastic.
Yeah. But and like the long like scarlet macaw feathers like coming out of her hair.
Yeah, working
but the
all
actual
of this.
like the overdress is like plain like beigey off-white, and then as soon as she moves, like the long sleeves of it and the under like of it is this like almost rainbow, not like tulle, but like that level of see-through, just in like a whole lot of fullness, so you can't really tell, but like when she walks you can see like, you know, her legs through the fabric, and then just some like really nice leather boots.
No, Kai is very happy to assist in this, and just all 4 arms just going, trying to put all this together as fast as possible. Like once he gets the concept, just like, oh, this is going to be amazing, and like just produces this outstanding outfit for you. And
if I'm gonna say a blessing for the couple, you know, like I do want to look like I belong here. Yeah.
Well, and I'd say in this outfit you look like 1,000 gold. So, wedding ready. And of course, we guarantee all of our outfits for life. So if you have any issues, you come back, we'll tail them, and always happy to take care of whatever else you need. And sir,
I
you can
feel
buy
like
more.
you just jinxed us to destroy these at the wedding, but okay. Alright.
You're all gonna live long and happy lives. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sir, you can buy more than the vest, you know. I think I'm good with just the vest, honestly. It's got exactly what I need. Oh, fair enough then. Can I interest you in a couple of them so you can just change them out? Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, on
It's got like an armful of vests now. Like, yeah.
I wonder if the patron Is it possible for the fabric to have some give to it in case he changes? You know,
Oh.
when you change.
No, you have to understand. Everything is guaranteed for life. No matter what happens, the outfit will adapt to you. If it's damaged, we can repair it. Otherwise, you live your best life, and this outfit will adapt to however you live.
Do you have like a practice vest or something like that that I could just?
You can just take one of the ones off the rack.
And
They're all
she
guaranteed.
takes one off the rack. She takes it off her boyfriend. She puts it on and she's like, "Do your thing, mi amor."
He's like, all right, it's not, don't be startled.
And like Odette like seems to be standing close, but unconsciously takes like a step back, even though she's familiar with this.
And this very large man just shifts very quickly. It's not even like it's like not like the Hollywood transformations where you see like the limbs growing. It just like blurs into this like slightly elongated bipedal form, with just like extra fur, extra height, and just that like lean feral muscle that occurs. His face twists and like has a hybrid of like human essence, but like mostly wolfish features, right? As he just very rapidly shifts in this area, and you know, even Kai takes a step back, but it doesn't show anything on his face, and the vest like stretches and warps and then like kind of disappears under the fur.
Well, I guess it survived.
Yeah, I think so. Does like some calisthenics to move around a bit. I can't feel it. Oh, I assure you, it's under there.
Okay. Oh. I stand corrected. Guaranteed for life.
Guaranteed. Life brings strange things here in Neverwinter, and of course, we want to make sure we're prepared for any possible situation. Cole shifts back, and the vest kind of comes out of the fur and forms back on his chest. And I like it.
It's magnificent.
It's wonderful. Thank you. And with that, like, all of you are slowly ushered out of this place, right? And these big boxes of like, you know, bow and ribbon covered like packaging from all of your different purchases, like hat boxes and like nice dress boxes and all this stuff. And Kai of course gives you a wave and says, "If you ever need anything, please come back." And Yusef hands him like a small pouch of coins, and he just like nods politely at Yusef, and Yusef says, "Well, we are a little behind for today. I didn't expect as much of a dialogue with Guy this morning, but it's not a problem. I would propose that we go to one more place after you have a chance to drop off your... I'll have to have someone take the bags to your home.
Mortimer?
Who would like to go dancing?"
Yes.
Dancing.
With
Dancing.
Mortimer.
I sent a runner to talk to Mortimer. He is currently indisposed.
Could we meet your bride? Will she come dancing with us the night before?
I will ask. If she is busy, unfortunately, no, but I will definitely give her the opportunity. I don't want to disrupt whatever ritual she has going on the night before, but I would love to have her out there.
Yes, what
But-
kind of bachelorette customs are there in Neverwinter?
It really depends on culture, right? Really, really depends on like the culture and the people involved, because there's so many different like humanoid and other races in this area that like the Elvis wedding chapel is just like insane, because they've got just like a menu of just stuff they put together for people that show up. You know, for like the Tiefling Azamar combo that like run off, you know, and decide to elope, their wedding difference is going to be very different than like two merfolk who decide to get married in Neverwinter on vacation.
The Elvis impersonator does it all, though. Yeah.
The Elvis impersonator does it all, 100%.
He's usually.
Let's take a 5-minute break here, and then we'll get into our little dance, and then we'll go, of course, head to the wedding itself. So we will be right back, this time with music.
I legitimately have. Oh.
We're back live. So we can continue.
Perfect.
Sorry, perfect timing. So.
I was in the room.
Oh, no worries. So. Scolded. 1 point of advantage taken away and 3 demerits.
What? To which house?
House Hobblefrog.
Yeah, they're the worst. They're like the candy dorm, right?
Mortimer was a member of House Hobblefrog when he went to school.
The
How
worst.
dare. I don't know. I got nothing. Moving on. So, some time passes, right? You get a chance to go to a club in the Tower District, right? To Yusef's to Yusef's credit, he does try multiple times to contact Mortimer. He sent a couple runners. He even cast a sending scroll to send him a message, and just does not get a response. And so he just shrugs and says, "Well, he is very busy, but he will get back to me in a timely manner. I'm sorry I can't do any more. They don't exactly let you barge into the Tower of the Archmage. But as he's saying that, though, the carriage pulls up to a small club, right? And you can see on the outside there are some like bluish neon lights that just light up, and they say the Vortex.
Nice.
And I guess like each letter appears individually, and then they just string across all in neon lighting. They flash a bit, then they consolidate, swirl together, and then line back out again. As part of the thing, it says, "Now I know when you did the trials, you had no issues with heights. So one of the fun things about this is, do medium-sized characters take a penalty to use that small?" Oh, that's funny. God damn it.
Delayed reaction.
You go into the club. I'm over the chat now. You're done. You're fired. You go to the club, and Yusef is explaining, like, I don't know if you have a fear of heights, but part of this is actually enjoying the different things inside. And as soon as you walk through the threshold, and pay to get in, like, you immediately feel the effects of levitation on you. Your feet kind of come a few inches off the ground. And he says, "Let's go," and launches himself into this effectively wind tunnel. But you can see at like different shelves along this wind tunnel are different theme style bars that have been created. So you can fly up to a bar, kind of sit down, party up there, and then go back to the wind tunnel and actually dance through that music and hit whatever your theme is that you are into. And he, of course, like launches himself up into the air, does like a quick like lap, comes back down, and just goes, "All right, where to first?"
Balon's already gone. Like,
Oh, look at him go!
it's like, this is the best!
Just cartwheeling through the air, like,
just
yeah!
Both very neat and seemingly unnecessary, but okay. Oh, yeah. All right. It's extra. Yeah.
It's
right,
the result
well.
of a combination of ingenuity and magic.
All right. Well. Oh, pardon. Well, where Valen goes, I guess we will follow.
The rest of the party just launches themselves into the air, like, after Valen!
Yeah.
Alright. No, this is a lovely place. You see a couple other people here. There's a lot of space, right? If you had to run the numbers on it, there are probably about 100 people in this club, right? But based on the amount of space that you have here, you're never going to be cramming into one, like, right into one another. You've got, like, 5 people per bar, effectively, and everyone else is just swirling around and dancing to this insane music that's being produced, right? It sounds like very intense techno, but with, like, a grunge underside, right? And as you're looking up at the, like, very top of this area, there's a bunch of floating equipment, and there's a what you all recognize to be a Drumor there, right? Kind of a dark dwarf from the underground, and it's just playing this insane like grunge techno music. And it's DJ T.O. in the house.
Tio?
T.O. So,
Valen is just hitting all of the little dance areas and just having a very good time. He had his breakfast beers, now he's just dancing.
having a ton of fun, right? There's a whirlwind of chaos and adrenaline and excitement as all these different things are happening, right? Eventually, you see a woman walk in, and Yusef flies directly to her. Kind of like leaps off of the little bar he's in, like does like a cartwheel somersault downward through the wind tunnel to meet up with her. And she is like a red-skinned elven woman who has all these like just different like flowery types of patterns all over this this top she's wearing, and it goes into a pair of like red leather patterned slacks and boots, and she just smiles, looks up with these big bright yellow eyes, and leaps up into the air to meet him. And all of you who are familiar with elves would realize that she's an Eldrin, right? Or like a
Eladrin?
Eladrin, yeah. What did I say?
I didn't hear you.
Eladrin, yes.
Eladrin.
So more of a Feywild elf, right? And obviously, just like the two of them like meet each other and they start dancing through the vortex of this nonsense, and eventually they come land. And Yusuf says, "She made it out after all. This is everyone. This is my fiancée, Suri. Suri. These are the Knights of Neverwinter," and introduces you one by one. And she smiles and like goes to hug. I think Itzel's the closest, right? She goes, "I've heard so much about all of you," and like hugs Valen next, hugs Odette, hugs Bella.
Question: how tall is this woman?
She's like 6'7".
Nice.
Excellent.
Like, tall
Yay,
and
someone
slender,
like it.
right?
Yeah.
She gives Cole a hug as well. She's like, are you also one of the knights? I just work here. I mean,
Does she like crouch down to hug Valen? I'm just like mental image.
Yeah,
Of
she
just like
stoops down and it's like
get
hello!
down like you're talking to a child, just like hello to you too, sweetie.
6'7" to 4'7", like just a 2-foot difference in height. She's like, "How's the weather down there?" You have like a little storm cloud down there with you, and it's all clear where she is.
I can fly. I come up to her for the hug. Let's be fair.
There it is. So, but she says, it is so nice to meet all of you, and I'm so happy to have you at the wedding tomorrow. Yusef here has been a little coy with the details, but he said you helped him for something very important, so I'm very curious to see what it is. I like surprises, and I think I'm very excited.
We were very excited to meet you too. We've seen how much he loves you, and we wanted to see who this person was who deserved this much love.
Oh, well, thank you. You flatter me, and I'm so honored to have you all as a part of this wedding party.
And we are happy to meet you. You are going to be...
Her brain kicks on for a second as you're talking, and she realizes who you are. Goes, oh,
you have
you're Odette. You're a...
Yes.
And look, he looks at Yusuf and is like, you didn't tell me it was that Odette. He's like, I assumed you knew. I'm sorry. I'm a huge fan of your performances.
Oh, thank you so much. And she like takes her hand, a probably huge fucking slender hand, and her tiny hand, and she a later
Dracotsaurus hand.
And she's just like, I am pleased to hear that you are a fan. You have the romance of the ages, and I am happy to say that I have been cataloging, and I have been keeping notes. I would love to make something, some kind of play or ballet out of the love that you two have for each other.
No.
That is not part of the surprise, but and she like looks at Yosef.
Thank you, stream.
But it's what is that? Oh man,
Wholesome.
Oh, wholesome. And she's like, it's not part of the surprise, but I can neither confirm nor deny it either. So, but rest assured, we've heard so much about you, and if you ever want a seat, we always have. People will say that there are no more seats at the academy. There will always be one for you too.
Oh,
I
how sweet.
I
We just
appreciate your
met them.
generosity. So, and I'm truly honored by this. Thank you. I would love to come to your academy once the wedding is over. I would love to just. I'd love to come by, talk to you more, and just see what you have there. And then I would like to invest as well. We're always looking to invest more into the arts.
That
And
is.
this has nothing to do, even if you don't make a play about me, it's not about that. It's literally, I just want to make sure that art is funded in these cities.
That is what we've been talking about. Like, so much of the funding goes to, we understand. It goes to the towers, it goes to, like, all of the magical studies. That makes perfect sense. Put more in the gardens, she, like, points to, like, Itzel. She's like, and it's nothing against it, but put more into, other venues of research, and she points to Bella. And she's like, and of course, like, we don't want to talk about religion because it is impolite, but maybe we investigate some of the mysteries that the various temples have. And she points to to Valen. Did you know, Valen? You have to tell her what you did. Maybe after the wedding, she herself. He has a surprise as well, and I think you would be quite impressed with the heroics of Valen.
The Heroics of Valen. That sounds like a wonderful piece. Well, I've kept you all long enough, please. I know this is a night of excitement and dancing. Like, let's dance. This place is truly wondrous. Right. And, proceeds to grab Yusuf's arm. They step back out into the vortex, and Yusuf is like, thanks. Gives you like an awkward thumbs up. Like, good job keeping the secret. And gets pulled off into the vortex.
But it's just like, I nearly got carried away. I'm so sorry about that.
The night drags on, right? Well, it doesn't drag on. The night kind of like continues, right? It fades into a whirlwind of color and sound and music, and there are other people that come out here and talk to you, and everyone's very excitable. This is a great place, right? And one by one, I think you all start to call it a night. And he says, okay. He reminds you all that tomorrow is a sunset wedding, right? And lets you know what time to be there. And he's told you a couple times, but just reminds you all again and bids himself. He and Sri bid you good night, and they head out. All right. So next morning, you have a few last minute things to do, but you prep everything, right? Unfortunately, no reply from Mortimer. Whatever he's doing is taking up a lot of his time, right? So hopefully he's getting your message, but nothing sent back. But you spend the day kind of getting prepped, getting ready. You have some time off, and you about an hour prior, right? You're kind of dressed up in nice outfits, right? That you've gotten. You're told to meet at the Nursery Palace, right? So again, you're standing back out in front of the fountain with Burble. Gruff is just like, just runs over and just dunks his whole head into the fountain. And comes up, is very happy because it's quite a warm day, It's just a nice rush of relief, and Burble just kind of giggle laughs almost, as this occurs.
I didn't actually catch that. Can you do that one more time?
$20.
There we go.
Auto translates to Buddha for some reason. That's fun. So
I got Gruff a bath. He has ribbons in his hair. He's very excited.
yeah, he's all done up. You know, looks great.
He's going to this wedding. Like, you're not stopping him.
Well, yeah, he's your +1.
Yes.
Who are your plus ones that you take? Right, I know Odette's gonna take Cole. Right, I know Valen's gonna take Gruff.
I was gonna bring Father Stone, but
Gruff is so much better.
yeah, he really is. I'm sorry, Father, you got bumped.
Oh my god, quality. What's Bella? Does Bella take a +1?
Bella doesn't have a +1. Nope.
Oh, okay. So you hear
Except
in your
the
head.
locket.
You hear in your head.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same, but you know, I'm with you in spirit. So.
Doesn't exactly fill the chair next to me at the wedding table, but that's fine. There's no one worth bringing anyway. Unless I want to bring the innkeep.
Oh, I'm sure his delightful manners will be a fun
I know,
addition
right?
to this event. Can't have a ceremony without ceremony. Pass.
Hey-o.
Not my best work. We'll move on. So the voice was really the like. Oh, Itzel, you're talking, but I can't hear you. I'm sorry. So, but who's your +1?
My cousin. She will.
Did you get the dress?
I was gonna say I will have gotten her something while I was shopping at the Clothed Mind. So something that doesn't necessarily, like, same thing, like very, very bright and colorful, but hers is a little bit simpler in silhouette because she doesn't have to be the like presentation. So just like, I don't know, like bright fuchsias and like Kelly green and purple all together in the fabric. Like, you know, something that's like cute, but like on the, you know, slightly modest side, but still like, you know, still colorful and fun and a little bit more of a nod to our culture and origins.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, and like she'll do the same thing, like do herself up in like lots of stone and feather and like will face paint, etc. Yeah.
She gets the she gets the dress on. She gets her hair done, and she turns around and like just waves her hand and like just blooms these flowers that kind of like accent the parts of the dress. They have these like nice like green and purple and like yellow flowers that kind of sprout into bloom, but they're like living breathing things. She says, "What do you think?"
Oh, perfect. And then like I'm gonna like pluck off one of the like edible flowers and like toss it and eat it. But yeah, you knew those were my favorite. But no,
They're not for eating; they're for decor.
You can make more. But
Magic
yeah,
send the
so,
flower back.
and she'll be, you know, wonderfully charming and pleasant to everybody. And I, of course, will be scanning for Mortimer at the crowd of the wedding because maybe he was busy, but like hopefully he got his invitation in the mail.
To the wedding of the decade, apparently.
Yeah.
Big celebrity wedding, right?
You know, he made us the portal to get into the dungeon. Like he's got an invite, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
He told Mortimer straight up that I see him at the wedding, in that end conversation. So,
Yep.
you all arrive at the courtyard. You know, Gruff is beautifully combed out, has ribbons on him, right? Everyone's got their +1. You know, Cole is there in his fancy vest, and he's added, I think, some like just the cuffs of a shirt with cufflinks. But like just bare armed otherwise, like hair combed. He's got like a vest with like some gold embroidery on it, like that looks just very nice. And a pair of like very nice slacks and shockingly shiny shoes, like very well polished and nice black shiny shoes. And he runs a comb through his beard. It's like, is everything. How do I look?
Odette kind of like reaches up and kind of like a bit of like shadow comes from her fingertips and like kind of just kind of like fills in a gap somewhere in his beard and then like kind of pulls it tight and she's like, perfect, you look perfect, my love.
And you look simply radiant. Well, shadow version of it. You look lovely. You look
Okay,
lovely.
good, sure. And she like gives him a kiss and she's just like, I am still a little worried about the way the way Lady Alora warned me. I have checked the book, and she like kind of like pats nothingness a little bit. But she's obviously wearing like an illusory or like illusioned over backpack or skin like curse of some sort. She's like, but nothing so far. She'll find me when she wants to, I'm sure. But we should keep our guard up and maybe tell the others.
I will keep an eye from the. I'll keep an eye from the crowd, right, and make sure that anything I can do to help, I'll make sure that security is awake and alert.
Thank you.
Right. And I'll let you know if I see anything. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
Nor are you. I think we're safe. And
Gives you like a little like peck on the cheek so it doesn't mess up everything you've done with the makeup, and says, "All right, what next?" Let's see Bella come walking up. Right. No +1.
Oh, +1.
No +1. Just vibing.
Strong, independent elf who don't need no man.
Heck yeah.
Heck
So-
yeah.
Burble gives you a little watery hello, like, as you come walking up. The carriage arrives outside, and Yusuf comes out. And he's dressed in something similar to what he was wearing yesterday with the casual white, but it is way more done up. It is just a white and gold, like, high-collared coat with, like, very nice, distinctive blue accents. And every time, if you look close, you can see like the blue. Oh no.
Cufflink?
Yeah, thank you. The blue cufflinks. I was like, Chris, help! the blue like wrist things, cufflinks. And lapel
You're a
pins.
suits man. What's the suit term?
Yeah.
Yes, the suit piece. The suit with the thing. Yeah.
Diamonds, hearts, spades, clubs, cufflinks. That's the one. That's the suit.
Not your
And
best.
his lapel is also has the. This is a wedding. It's wonderful. Everyone has a great time. What are your questions? End scene. He's got
Burble
the
kicks out a person who doesn't have their invitation.
Claire just picks him up and just.
He got the Nasiri family crest on the lapel and cufflinks, and he says, "Okay, I of course before Sari comes in, I will be down at the altar. I will introduce the four of you as the Knights of Neverwinter. Have you had a chance to walk down? You'll have some seating right up in front, and if you wish to say anything, you're more than welcome. This is of course my wedding, but like it's something that you helped set up and create. So this day is just as much yours as it is mine. So please,
No.
Thank you.
feel free to speak your minds." With that, he kind of gestures at the carriage, and starts to walk into it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
just hop in.
get the carriage then, yeah.
Yeah, not a nice carriage right across town. Right, a lot of people.
Actually, no. I guess I've got Gruff. I'm gonna ride Gruff behind
Ride
the
Gruff.
carriage. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you ride Gruff. Behind you, there's like a little security detail of like 3 guys on horseback. In front of the carriage, there's some people on horseback as well. They're not really getting in anybody's way, right? There's a lot of people lined up on the streets who are just like, "Wow, royal wedding! Like this is a high-profile event." They're trying to catch a glimpse of it. They're cheering. Most people. Some people are like, "Boo, you all suck," It's from a royal family. It's got a lot of money, and some people don't like that,
There's always a few.
It's always politics, right? But for the most part, it's a very well-received convoy, right? As you go through, no security issues, and take you to a area off of Castle Neverwinter, right, and to the back garden specifically. So dismount and kind of walk around from the back gardens in the castle. If you remember, it was like right at the edge of that river by the ocean. So there's this beautifully kept massive garden in the back area with these like topiaries and wonderful like hedge carvings and just ornately designed flower beds. Itzel, and you're probably just loving this, right? You hear your cousin just go, "Oh wow, can we stay here? Is that an option?"
I mean, it's a little manicured, but yeah. And then,
That's
oh,
beautiful.
that one's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This one's a unicorn. Look at that. So, and as people come filtering in, you wouldn't recognize these people immediately, but as you're like looking around, you see like enough high-profile individuals, right? That kind of come around through the VIP area. Some different lords, some different ladies, some political appointees, some people who are famous enough, right? The church is usually invited to these things. Honestly, there would be a representative of the Church of Tempest there if you weren't there, but you are the representative. So you like look around and see if Father Stone shows up. He clearly you've got it, right? And everyone files in, and there's about 150 like of these seats set up in the back area and like a shaded awning, right, that overlook a small stone balcony that is facing the ocean, and you can see, of course, the sun start to go down, right? And music plays. Yusef walks down the aisle, right? Guy flutters behind him and lands on his shoulder, and like wearing like a little black suit and tie, right? And he gets up to the front. He makes a little gesture and says, "Before we continue, I want to introduce some dear friends of mine who helped me make this wedding is what it is today. So, excuse me, without any further delay, I give you my friends and companions, the Knights of Neverwinter." He applauds, and like there's a lot of like scattered applause. Like some people are really into it, some people are like, "The who?" You hear like murmurs like through the crowd, like, "I don't know of any such organization." They turn back to look, and there's the four of you standing there.
Odette takes this moment and she smiles and like waves her hands and if we're supposed to walks. But
Yeah,
she's like,
there's like some music accompanying the movement.
but she says, just remember, what Itzel said and what Lady Alora said. There may be some danger here still. So keep your eyes open, but I guess have fun.
thank you.
We just have to be careful.
So I was gonna be like, finally, somebody's paying attention.
No, I believe you, but I've been thinking about it a lot more, and Lady Alora has not arrived.
Itzel will take whoever's standing next to her's hands, so like Valen and Bella or whatever, and then Odette on the other side. So we'll be like walking down the, like measuring my steps because all y'all are short.
Valen is making sure Tempest's logo is apparent for everybody to see, and then he's just walking tall.
Yeah. Well, I figure you're on the end, so the shield is on the one arm.
That's right.
You see Cole out in the seats, like give you all like a little discreet thumbs up, like.
Cole said he would keep watch.
Yes. And whichever of us, I guess, either Valen or Itzel will do their blessings for the marriage.
Valen pulls out a piece of paper. He got Father Stone to teach him a wedding blessing, and he's trying really hard not to mess it up.
Well, okay.
I bring you props on your daughter's wedding and hope her first child is a masculine one.
I hope you have fights in glorious combat, and may they succeed.
And Itzel will talk about the like auspicious omens in the stars over this occasion, and that the like that this is a it's a symbolic time and an auspicious date, and that the coming together of two families and two great individuals at this time is clearly a it's a serendipitous set of circumstances that will be certain to bring good fortune, contentment as your lives go on. There are forces greater than you at work, and they are pointing to a happy union. So, remember, the party is just the first part. The rest of it's the important stuff. However long you get to enjoy it until the world ends. Yes.
It's like when Valen gave his speech, like everyone kind of like clapped at that. They're like, yeah, because good, bad, or indifference, you can get along with the Tempest Doctrine unless you're like, it's okay, glorious battle and warfare. Okay, yeah, most people get that, right? They hear Itzel's speech and people are like,
yay!
The
couple
signs
scattered,
of the heavens point to good things for
scattered
however
applause.
long we all remain on this plane. Yes.
Portentous. Is
Dude,
that a
and
good
Bella.
thing or a bad thing? I don't remember.
Do Ordette or Bella have anything to say?
Oh no, I don't do public speaking. No, that's not for me.
Oh, good call. Keep a low profile.
Odette looks at Bella and then she's like, no, and then she comes forth and she says, love. And she starts kind of doing a soliloquy from a play or something like that. And she's just like, and just as the moon chases the sun, sometimes they do meet, and when that happens, it is spectacular. So, Yosef, Serene, you are the sun and moon, and we are merely stars, watching you gather up in the beautiful midnight sky, and in awe of the glory of your love. And let that be an example for everybody, that love is possible, no matter where you look. So just look around and you will find it everywhere around you. And she does a little curtsy.
Everyone
Huge applause.
claps at that,
No. That's not how any of those relationships of stars work. I don't.
Well, it's like an eclipse, maybe.
So
It is dramatic.
Maya said earlier, but yeah, Suri was definitely there up there with you all. So as you're all talking through that, she kind of takes your hands and gives you little polite kisses and it actually gives you an embrace too and thanks you for your words. Gives Valen both Suri and Yusef give you a Tempest style salute. It's correct. It's not as crisp as it should be, but it's at least in the right format.
Right style. That's nice.
They spent the time to look it up. It wasn't like they were doing some completely off nonsense. Yeah. They both nod solemnly as Bella as you're just no, remarks complete. And they're like, of course, no, thank you for just being here. And they both try to put a good spin on Itzel's
She was being very nice in the grander sense of things. It just probably came off as a little impersonal. That's fine.
Suri laughs and just says, it's until the end of the world do we part, right? Is that? And the four of you are ushered back to your seats in the front, right? And at this point, the sun is kind of just setting behind the horizon. And it just is throwing a lovely shade of just yellow and gold over this whole area. The utopiaries and the garden features kind of accent in in a nice and soothing way. The lines are very well done and structured, right? As you're kind of looking at this whole area, and Yusuf kind of clicks a little bit, and Guy flies off. And then flies back, struggling a little bit as he's flying with this massive
Don't skip
celestial
wing day.
diamond, right? That he flies up with, and of course places it in Yusef's hand, and he says, "This is the gift that my friends and I were able to find and secure for you." I asked myself, what could I give to somebody that already has, well, everything? And the answer was a relic of, well, timeless history and power. And I wanted to do that as a show of devotion, to say that nothing is too difficult, or nothing is too there's no obstacle I will not surmount. I would not, words are hard. There's no obstacle I would not face down, simply to ensure that you were loved and you were taken care of. And he like goes to put this necklace over her neck. She kind of like bows down a bit because she's about a foot taller than him, right? As he puts the necklace around her neck, and she says, "Thank you, Yusef. This is the most beautiful thing." She kind of holds it up a little bit in the light, and it just glints all these amazing prismatic colors. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen, and I will, of course, treasure it and your vows and what they mean to me. She kind of coughs a bit and says, "Sorry. I was so happy to meet you and get to explore the world in a scholarly," she coughs again, and like you see little beads of sweat kind of start to appear on her forehead, in this scholarly way, and you gave new insight to the world around me. I'd used to the magics of it, but not necessarily the academics of it. And sorry, I need to. And she kind of like doubles over. Yusuf like looks over like really concerned. And as the sun sets, a couple things happen very quickly. Right?
No. Maybe
There's
the necklace is it's too heavy. That's definitely, it's totally not cursed.
No, we should take that off. It seems heavy.
There's a flash outside the gates as you hear like the crackle of some very quick conjuration magic. And those in the back, so like Gruff and Cole look and are able to relay very quickly that Mortimer has indeed arrived. And it's like
the bastard.
He's like running onto the gates.
Don't put on the necklace. Am I too late?
Yeah, but he's a turtle, so like his best efforts are.
Oh, okay. No, so he's trying to stop her from putting it on.
He teleports from outside the gates and is like running up to the wedding venue, but he clearly can't teleport.
You bastard!
He can't teleport onto the castle grounds for some reason. Probably warded, right? So he's just huffing his way up and like waving and shouting something, right? At this point, Sari kind of stands up tall and is being embraced by like these weird shadows, and her eyes turn a strange color of green, and Yusef is like, what is happening? And like the people in the crowd are starting to like react and murmur and like stand up and look at everything, and
I'd be trying to lay hands on her. Like this is a paladin kind of thing. So if I can help, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. As everyone starts to react, like I'll give you a chance to roll initiative on this one, right? As everyone starts to react, she picks up Yusef and in a twisted and strange voice just says, "Thanks for the help."
No.
And proceeds to throw him over the side of the ledge. And he just flies, right? I'm going to describe one last thing. So she turns, and even as she's standing there and like chucks Yusuf over the side, we're gonna kind of freeze frame or slow mo in this moment.
Yep.
Like Valen rushing up, Guy flying off of Yusuf's shoulders, and then kind of like flying around, looking concerned.
Who has the featherfall ring?
So, not Yusuf,
Him,
I know, but, like-
Odette. Sorry, Odette has the 2 rings.
right? But you can see Cerie's entire features start to transform, right? She no longer has that like soft reddish tint to her skin. It becomes like cold and stretched and bony, and her face kind of recedes into like what looks like a skeletal almost look as those green eyes light up. And she just looks at all of you and says, "It's good to be back." And that's what we'll call it.
What?
No.
It was such a nice wedding.
It was so
It
good
was.
up until that point. That one
Right.
didn't happen.
Yusuf's like, I spent a lot of money on this! So, yeah. So something has occurred. And, of course, we're going to pick up literally with roll initiative next session.
Cool.
So be prepared for that as this scramble occurs. Obviously, you hear Mortimer in the background going, "There's something wrong with the necklace!" Like,
I thought he was gonna say, "Slow down." Like
basically,
the
on the way Mortimer talks, he'd be like, "There is something wrong with the necklace, and I am talking at this alarming rate. I apologize for pushing so much information to you at such a rapid pace. If I could slow myself down, the adrenaline is like, yeah. Oh no, Yusuf!" Everyone else is like walking past him. So, but that is the session for now. So that's the first episode of Veil Breakers. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out and get a chance to really explore your characters, because I feel like I got a chance to know all of you very deeply, right? And talk about kind of your likes, dislikes, your quirks, your fears, your personalities all came through very strong. So I'm
And our
excited.
fashion sense.
And your fashion sense, which is very exciting. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the story so far, or don't, I don't care, that's fine too. And want to just throw some money at the story, you can pay me to like stop talking. That's fine. You can use pound surf donate. You can pay me to make funny voices. Apparently, that's a thing I've
Totally
established.
Yep.
You can pay me more to not do the voices, right? If you're into just the community in general, you can hop into our Discord, right? I'm posting those things in the stream chat so you can see them. And we talk about all sorts of stuff in the Discord. We're big old nerds, right? A lot of memes about D&D nonsense. A lot of looking for group stuff. So if you're just hanging out looking for people to try to game with, pops up all the time where people are looking for like onesies and twosies for one-shots or longer campaigns. So that's a great place to meet people. And if nothing else, it's got a bunch of our information on when we're streaming next as well, right? Let's see. Same thing
Cute
for...
pet pictures.
That's true. It has a lot of cute pet pictures, right?
Some people that post some really accomplished, like, baking and, like, cooking stuff, too. Like, we get something for everybody.
Yeah, a lot of skills. I constantly spam the chat with pictures of my dogs because they're very cute. It's also all my Instagram, but you can follow us on Twitter as well. Same thing for updates, right? Just see like what the channel's got going on. Oh, jeez. I think that's everything. I think I'm exhausting all of our social media stuff. But the bottom line is, it's all for Surfrider, right? As Yusuf is being thrown into the ocean, we want to protect that ocean from Yusuf and other litter. So... I feel so bad. I just threw him under the bus for that one.
Good segue.
But it's all for a good cause. We'll figure out why the tracker's not working, right? So for the donations we got, thank you all so much, right? I added to the Advantage pool, and we're going to get that fixed. A stream without technical issues is, well, not really a stream, right? But
It looks like we got 4 $25 donations. So
$425. Ooh.
Whoa!
Very
Thank
nice.
you all
Thank
very
you.
much. It's a beautiful
Tail.
debut, right? with that said, I do want to turn the reins back over because I'm going to talk about a few things coming up, right? So we've got class reunion coming up on Tuesday. We've got the Mercy of Time coming up on Wednesday, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure. So, if you tune on a Wednesday, we are premiering my 5e game. That's a tail in my face. And the world might end. We've gotten ourselves
That's
into
a
a bit of a
theme.
pickle already. People are in prison, and they will have to get their way out of that. And yeah.
Heck yeah. Should be a good time. You'll see a bunch of promo information coming out about that pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. What else? You got anything, Joe? Got any cool improv stuff coming up?
I do.
Yeah.
If you guys like TV and watching
love
things
TV.
happen and people do other things so you don't have to, well, boy,
Love
do
all
I
those
have a show for you. So I would love if you have Instagram, you can go to hot_switch or hot switch. There is this lovely improv group that I'm a part of, Hot Switch Improv. We are all online at this point. And next Tuesday, the 31st, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be putting on a little bit of a show. And the form that we do is perfectly created just for online streaming. It is free. You guys can jump in, you can watch on YouTube, look up Hot Switch Improv on YouTube, or just go to hot_switch on Instagram, or hot switch on Facebook. You can check us out, you can find the links, you can see when we're going on, but basically our form is reminiscent of the days of old when you could just channel surf without any kind of guide, except for the paper one that says TV guide in front of you. And every time you hear a click, it'll be a different, basically improvised commercial, game show, Lifetime movie. We do basically everything, and it's all free. So you can join us next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Look up Hot Switch. Thank you so much.
It's a great show if you get a chance to catch it. I've seen a couple, and they're very fun. Also, they take a lot of audience request stuff, so feel free to give them problems. / ideas. Ideas, that's the word. All right, anything for Rouge or Chris? Like, you want to talk about life? Anything cool coming up? You know? No? I'll give you the floor.
Band, the Misbehaving Maidens, should be having our first in-person show this Wednesday in Greenbelt at the New
That's
Deal
huge.
Cafe.
Very nice.
We may have updates about that show, but you can definitely find Misbehaving Maidens online. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter. You can find us as the Misbehaving Maids, because there was a character limit. And if that's all too much for you to remember, you can just find misbehavingmaidens.com and find all of our information there. But yes, we will definitely post any updates. But this week is supposed to be our return to live performances, so we shall see how that goes.
Nice.
Excellent news. Excellent news.
Yes, yes.
Any alibis? No? Going once, going twice? All right, thank you all for a wonderful show. We'll be back in 2 weeks, right, to get to the exciting, start of this combat and see how it goes, right? Hopefully our hero is able to save the day, but you never know what's going to happen in these kind of things. But we're going to head out of here. We're going to find somebody to raid, so don't go anywhere. Right, you're going to see the thanks for watching screen, a little bit of music's going to play, and then we're going to jump into somebody else's channel on Twitch who's also filled with, like, cool, nerdy people who like TTRPGs. So hang out for a bit, throw them a follow, jump into their chat, talk to them. It all helps the greater streaming community kind of get to know one another, and it feels great when someone raids your stream and actually interacts, right? So it's a good moment to have that feeling. So with that, see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.